free time, man. Cut that shit out. It's a weekday.
You want to do the intro since we're live, Terrell?
What?
Live.
What the fuck? Hi, everybody.
You have no idea.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Juice is Loose, where Juice is a piece of shit. Never mind. You already knew that. It's what is it? 209. It's 209. Yeah, 209. Holy shit. Jesus Christ.
We've been doing this too long, man.
Losers.
Yeah.
Hey, with that random on live, this is officially a Shadowcast.
Tonight we're
Slowly but surely.
Yeah, we're going freestyle. I don't have a damn thing planned.
Balls on the wall.
Other than if Robert was here, I was gonna have him talk about Spider-Man.
That wasn't gonna last 2 hours. The fuck?
Spider-Man.
If only something in gaming happened for us to talk about.
You know, Robert only played that shit like 5 minutes.
Realistically, you know, we could. I want to propose this question to the I don't know how people are actually in the chat right now. Since we brought up earlier, what do you think is a better purchase, God of War or Spider-Man for PS4?
God of War at a discount.
What? It's a discount for both. Don't act like they're not both discounts.
I'm saying God of War. Gift card. I'm pretty sure God of War is no longer a full price game.
Well, probably not. That's not the fucking point. We're not. Don't try to sway them. You're gonna do what you want to do anyway.
Let me look to verify.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Jack is all God of War.
Oh no, it's not. It's like $55.
Yeah, it's back up to 60 at Best Buy, so I'll be waiting.
I
had heard someone said it got sliced in half or something, but maybe
I'm surprised. This is like one of the first times I've seen a Sony game not drop in price.
It's had to have dropped at some point.
It may have dropped at one point, but not now. I'm also baffled the amount of fucking Spider-Man PS4 unboxings I've seen on YouTube. Jesus Christ. I didn't think people were still buying PS4s like this.
They buy extra PS4s just like they bought extra PS2s because they were breaking.
I seen a couple of big time YouTubers with the unboxings. I think Sony sent some out, just trying to get the word out.
Man, everybody wants to be a Sony ambassador, man.
So yeah, if God of War is full price, I ain't even with my $25 gift card plus my discount. I'm still gonna wait.
Well, shit, I can't peel my son away from 2K to play my PlayStation. So guys, I'll do an unboxing if you guys send me a PlayStation 4.
2K19 come out?
Yeah, it came out today.
It came out the same day. Well, if you bought it early, it came out the same day as Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, because if you bought like the special edition or something,
and you know he did.
Because it was like 100 and something.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
The physical
parenting sucks.
Date on Switch. Did they get the physical out on Switch?
I don't know. The physical out. The digital's out. I seen
the digital's been out.
Unacceptable.
Let's look.
Unacceptable.
If it isn't again, then it'd be like, come on, what the fuck?
Come on, T. You don't want your 512 gigabyte SD card to get full?
It looks like it's cast. Looks like the Switch version, the physical version, is available.
Yeah, I thought it was. I hadn't heard anything.
You buy that. It says 512 when you buy it from China and you put that shit in. It's like gigs.
Yeah.
It's like we only recognize one of these blocks. Good luck. You better get a soldering iron, bitch.
That's what you get for paying $5 for SD card.
You don't knock in the Spider-Man PS4, but I guarantee if Nintendo dropped a Metroid Prime 4 Nintendo Switch limited edition, we'd all be snapping it up, and I know I would. I know I would.
I need an excuse to buy another one anyway.
Really, conflicted about that damn Pokemon special. I got in my feelings.
I don't buy special edition consoles. Never have.
I don't normally, but fuck me, man.
I'm looking at both of them bitches. Like
you don't need it.
That Galaxy 3DS though.
I might just want to put them on a shelf.
I wanted that Metroid and that Galaxy 3DS. They both look nice.
It's been bad.
I don't like that. I'm not a big fan of red, so I don't like that Spider-Man PS4 Pro.
I didn't care
for the blue.
But I wanted that red GameCube though. I think it was only developer only in Japan.
What was it? What was it for? I was there. I don't remember the red.
Yeah, I think it was an NR reader in Japan. Only a few of them came in red.
I mean, listen, Nintendo's back at it again with their customized consoles. They haven't done it because they didn't do it for the Wii U except for the Zelda one, which no one really counts because it was like
I still want that.
That was just a gamepad, wasn't it? Though.
What a Panasonic Q? Somebody just bought one recently, didn't they? Who was it? RGC?
RGT 85, yeah. I'm jelly like a
That's not a
motherfucker.
GameCube.
You feeling some type of way?
I can do it, but I just don't want to pull that trigger.
If it make you feel any better, the only difference is it has DTS.
Oh, I know. I know what the features are. It's just like here's the thing. I'm not even gonna play on that shit. I'm just gonna.
You don't want to play a dry ass DVD on that shit, man.
I'm not playing no DVDs and that shit. I just want that shit.
It's the principle of it.
Blue lights.
Yeah, it looks cool as hell.
Like the original Wii. I used to love the Wii when it used to glow blue at night time.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was a cool ass shit.
Then you realize that shit wasn't on all the time. It's like, what?
Hey, man, chill out.
You lied, Nintendo. You lied to me.
He said, "Import that shit." Look, man, it's not cheap. It wasn't cheap back then.
What one?
It's
A Panasonic Q.
It's cheap enough. Like I just.
But the import
The problem is,
Like,
I can't justify buying it and putting it and doing what I know I'm gonna do with it. Which is put that bitch on the shelf.
Isn't it still at cost plus import? So it's like 400 plus whatever it costs to import.
Yeah, I've checked it out.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good question, or that's a good topic. Because I think
Mm.
the PlayStation, especially the PS4, has gone overboard with these special editions. It's working; they keep selling. But it started with the Darth Vader one, the Star Wars one. I think was the first.
Yeah, the
PS4.
Battlefront one.
I mean, we can't really hate on it though because they got that shit from Nintendo.
I'm about to say the 3DS.
That's what I was gonna say.
How
Like
many variations of the 3DS do we have right now? I mean, special
3DS,
editions.
yeah, definitely. But PlayStation, I
N64.
think,
I'm
done it.
going back to N64. Like,
Oh, that's right.
man, them
Game Boy Color.
fantastic colors. Like,
Hey man, chill out. Don't even bring that up.
people
That was-
still collecting them.
I love the colors of the N64. You know, at least they were stylish and and individualized. You know,
That clear N64.
Like,
Yeah, all it was,
Which is weird 'cause they kinda
palette
went-
swap.
They went away from that, I think, during the Wii, because the Wii only got two variations, the white and black one,
Yeah,
unless
that
you
was
count
it.
the mini, which I don't know how many people bought the mini.
I almost bought it because it was like $88.
Buying the mini is like buying the Game Boy Micro. You don't fucking need it.
It's not about need, son.
Remember when they first showed off the Wii? When they first showed off the Wii, they had all those beautiful colors, the reds, the yellows, and everything. Man, they look gorgeous. Like, I kind of gutted they never.
And we only got the black.
You realize that bitch didn't do anything.
They did release the controllers in those colors though. You just had to jump on them as soon as they released them.
Let me read off all the editions of the PS4 we've had, and I'm not going to do the specific to like a special country ones.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people forgot that there was a white one, which I forgot completely.
Was there?
That was with like Destiny.
Oh,
that's right. Yeah.
And then you had an Arkham Knight one, which I know guy used to do my podcast bought one.
I debated on that one.
Then we had a Call of Duty Black Ops 3 special edition. Then actually the Destiny Taken King special edition, which had decals and like ghosting decals instead of just plain white. Metal Gear Solid 5 special edition.
I don't remember that.
Then there was a Fox edition. There's two different Metal Gear ones. Then you had the Battlefront one.
Yeah.
Then you had the Taco Bell had the gold one, which was limited.
But didn't both consoles have a Battlefront edition? I remember the Xbox One.
No.
Was Xbox One or 360? Which one was it?
I'm pretty sure Xbox had some sort of special.
It might have been just for 360 though. I'm thinking.
360.
I'm not sure.
Might be one of the
one.
We're not done
they have
here.
the deal. Microsoft has the deal with Battlefront, don't they? And then Sony has the Call of Duty deal.
No, Sony has Battlefront and Battlefield.
Really?
Xbox has
I'm not
Assassin's Creed.
Mm.
So then we had the Uncharted 4 had a special edition with a Nathan Drake image. Then we had Assassin's Creed Syndicate North America only. Oh, that was a one-off, so forget that one. Where was that other one at? To the 20th anniversary. I'm scrolling. There's a bunch of one-offs for like a what do you call it? Prizes for companies maybe like had someone make some and then they gave them away. So then I think the next one might be the Spider-Man one. I think that might be the last one.
The last one is just a.
So there's been quite a few, which is unlike the PS3 didn't have a ton. I don't think the PS2 had a ton. So it's Sony definitely going all in with those. And like I said earlier, I've literally never bought whether even a 3DS handhelds console. I've never bought a special edition color like variation of any. Always ended up with basically the standard consoles. So for me, it's even if it's a Metroid Prime 4,
I like it.
I don't care.
The
I've never
problem
done that
is,
either.
I've already pre-ordered.
Looks over at his 4 game cubes.
Yeah, I say I got 2.
Yeah,
I don't even look at my shelf.
I don't have any myself primarily because of the timing. And it always came out. They always would release one of these things during a time where either I just bought the normal version of the console, like right before. Actually, I think that's what happened even with the Wii U. It was like
right on time, don't they?
that Zelda bundle came out like 3 or 4 months before after I bought the Wii U for the first, because I bought it in like 2013, and it was like, fuck, I should have just waited. It didn't make a difference, but still.
Yeah, I've never bought the same console twice either. Even like for one, maybe
The handhelds I have.
Oh yeah, handhelds would be.
You owned a 360 and never bought a console twice?
So I waited till the HDMI version.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you waited until the Slim came out.
The one that came with the Kinect?
No, the HDMI one.
Oh, the HDMI. I'm sorry.
It's just it was the first one to have HDMI out, and
that's the Falcon chipset, I think.
So I haven't had any issues with that, which I've been lucky. I haven't had.
Still, I mean that's still pretty good because those weren't,
the first version, the Falcon version, they had problems too.
Yeah, they still had problems. So
yeah, the Kinect one was the only one that was like it was ironclad.
Mm-hmm.
It was safe.
I'd be curious what it turned it on if there's like updates, because it's probably been since 2014, 2015 maybe.
Why would you do that?
Yeah, man, the interface looks completely different too.
You'd be like, where the fuck have you been? I can't I can't update this shit now.
I don't. Yeah. Crazy.
Speaking of which, I turned on my PS3 for the first time in 4 years, maybe.
I keep getting emails to change my password because I probably got compromised again because I have a different account.
I like how common of occurrence that is.
I used a dumb name on when I booted up my PS3 for the first time, and then I created Terminator Juice one, which I brought over to the PS4. So HDMI audio, it worked on Laker link in the chat. The HDMI worked for audio too. Completely random.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah. You had to go in and turn it in the settings, but yeah, it worked. But anyway, so special edition Switch, like for me with handhelds, the new or the rebuying it was always because there was a pretty major improvement where the Game Boy Advance to the Game Boy Advance SP, like that was a massive improvement just in the lighting, having to be able to see the screen, and in fact you could just fold it up, put it in your pocket. It was it was awesome. And then the DS, I waited till the light, so I didn't have to rebuy that. And then
really?
With the 3DS,
I bought the original DS on launch.
Yeah, I had no interest in that system at all until the light.
Crazy man!
I think I had the original fat DS. I skipped the light. I got the DSi, and then I think I got the what was the DS? Was there a DSi XL? I might be thinking.
I think it was just big anyway, wasn't it?
Huh?
No, the DSi was regular. There was a DSi XL too.
Yeah, that was DSi XL.
You know what's crazy?
I tell you what I want. Remember the mini games in Mario 64 DS? I want all those in like a little
they were
mini
good
game package.
They were good.
Like the
poker game
and
like
yeah, exactly. Man. So
we all love that gambling, folks.
I don't think I've ever talked about my initial thoughts when the DS was shown. I thought it was the dumbest looking thing I'd ever seen.
Oh, the DS Fat? Oh, I still have it. It's the
I just thought
I love it, man.
I thought the 2-screen concept was dumb, and I was just like,
the original when they showed.
I couldn't say that because Game of
I didn't like the design, but I still thought it was really.
It got like a much better design when the light.
Yeah, the light came out, and it was New Super Mario Brothers was the only reason that it piqued my interest. Then I ended up enjoying quite a few games on the system.
You remember the prototype when you stepped on stage and flipped it open and had that?
It looked so good.
Yeah, I'd rather have that. What happened to that design?
It looked so cool.
Then they sold you this trash, and I was looking at that thing like, you know what though? I tell you what though, that thing's a freaking tank, man. That thing went through.
Oh, mine still works.
It went through
battle scars and shit on it.
It went through actual combat. Like
the hinge doesn't work, but it still works.
Hey, I'll put it this way: it has better hinges than the 3DS does. My God.
I traded in my DS Lite, so now I can't play my Game Boy Advance games. That was a dumb choice.
That's the main reason why you didn't get rid of it.
That was a terrible choice. I should have kept the DS.
Oh yeah, because the DS Lite got rid of the GBA slot.
I got sucked sucked into the GameStop had it was just a ridiculous trade-in. I forget. It was like it was double. If you bought a 3DS, it was double the normal, and I think I got.
Wait,
I got doubly screwed on the 3DS because I bought the DSi, which I believe came out like a year.
DS Lite didn't get rid of I have mine right here.
No, I think it's the DSi that got rid of it.
Oh, DSi got rid of it.
It was just that when you use Game Boy Advance games, they stuck out further.
Yeah,
than they did on the original. On the DS Fat, it fit all the way in there.
Look ghetto as hell.
So weird.
Yeah.
Well,
But I remember the DSi came out. It was like I think it came out like a year, or no, the XL came out like a year before the 3DS was either announced or came out. I forget which. And I bought it, and then the announcement came out. I was like, "Fuck!" So I didn't get the 3DS until the end of 2012, I think. Yeah, because I bought it for Kid Icarus. That's why. God,
I bought a day one Nintendo handheld since the Game Boy Advance.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, I can't. Do I even want to get into these woods? Because
man, you don't talk about the handheld streets.
Yeah, the handheld streets is the worst streets for me.
That's how you got accustomed to rebuying the same console 3 fucking times.
That's
man, that damn DS Nitro or Nintendo Nitro and God knows when 2004.
Do you remember the Game Boy Color that wasn't really color? It was just the outside.
Yes, it was literally the shell was color. Yes, I was just talking about that.
It was a little bit.
They actually sold that shit.
Yeah, it was like y'all got some damn nerve. What?
It said Game Boy
Color, and then they actually came out with the Game Boy Color. I was confused.
That was actually color, right?
Yeah, the GBC.
It's called misrepresentation.
I was an adult. I was working. I remember when a guy came out. He's like,
I had a job.
My kid wants a Game Boy Advance. I can't find one for Christmas or Game Boy Color. And I'm like, that's when I realized I looked into it. I was like, oh, this is a new system. Like I fucked.
Yeah. You were like, wait a minute.
I think the names changed. I think the Game Boy Color we're talking about was actually the Color Game Boy. I think that was the name.
They changed it around.
They had to change it.
But
it's like these bastards.
Didn't the Game Boy Color just play Game Boy games? But then there were some games that were built from the ground up to have color.
Yeah,
like it didn't have a huge
Zelda was.
It was kind of like it was a better new 3DS situation.
It would do some, it would colorize some of the other games, but even if
I remember because that's I got my Game Boy Color and I bought Pokemon, and then I went back and bought Red and Blue, and Red and Blue was one of the games that was supported to have a little bit extra color in it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that is the difference. Okay.
So I think it was initially designed with color in mind. It's just that it was a cost.
Yeah.
Nintendo just kind of took it out at the end before they actually put the final prototype.
The color was half the thickness, wasn't it? It was a way smaller or thinner.
It was almost felt like a mini Game Boy.
It was much
the Game Boy Pocket.
It was the
Game Boy Pocket color too.
Yeah. They tried the system, man. They tried the system with all that.
So the Switch, is portable, and I've only ever rebought a portable system. So even though I said somebody in the chat, like, there's a reason I don't buy special editions. I just never liked the idea of rebuying the same system that's identical. But with the Switch and being a handheld, it's kind of more common practice. Usually handhelds are $200 or less, so $300 Switch is going to be a little bit tougher sell for some double dip, and people will.
Yeah, and see, they fucking announced that Pokemon Special Edition Switch, and I was like,
we're gonna play that game again. Here's the thing with that though, they have to at least sell those Joy-Cons and sell that dock. Like
I don't think they are.
There's obiously nothing.
I don't think they're going to T though. That's the problem.
They'd be bastards.
And that's the thing,
because Nintendo's weird about that kind of shit.
Because the Switch, really, the only thing they can really specialize is the Joy-Cons and then the back, which if you
nobody
have any
cares about because you didn't even see it.
Because especially when it's docked, and then maybe put some stuff on the dock. But a dock is so easy just to put some kind of. You could go decal. What's that? I forget the website. Decal gal or something.
You can get custom docks now without.
So
yeah.
To me, it's basically just buying colored Joy-Cons at that point. So that's something I'm.
Well, at least as far as that Pokemon bundle is,
that only matters to collectors.
It has custom, I think, Joy-Cons. I think the grips the little grips you slide on the Joy-Cons are colorized. The back of the Switch is colorized, and then you got the Pikachu and Eevee on the dock, and it comes with the game and a Pokeball Plus. So
I'm not in love with the colors, so I don't care about that.
Yeah,
the colors is I like the dock more than anything else.
Yeah, the dock. I like the dock.
Yeah, I don't like the design of Eevee. I thought Eevee looked trash. Pikachu looks okay. But...
Hey man, hey, how you gonna? Hey,
there's something ashy about Eevee.
Well, here's the thing too.
I actually hate the design of the dock because it does one thing I hate. Now, I'm like Juice. I buy a console at launch, and I don't care about buying other editions, but I always like it when there's a lot of special editions. I like to see like 100 PlayStation 4s and 100 Nintendo 64s. I like seeing that people can have different things. But then when the Wii U, for example, got like the Wind Waker edition, like the console had nothing, and then the gamepad had this fucking sticker on it, and I think that is so fucking lazy. And with the
was it a sticker? I thought it was etched
edition
now.
No, it was etched into the
no,
Joy-Con.
that's what I was going to say. Now you have the Eevee edition, you have the Joy-Cons, and the console itself has like this burn pattern thing, and I fucking love that, where the material is basically a design.
Yeah, I don't think Richard realized that.
The dog has 2 fucking stickers on it, though. Like, I don't like that.
I don't know those. Well,
are those stickers?
I don't think they're stickers.
Someone could make those stickers though, and you could easily
can make.
cut.
It's not like.
Yeah, but that's not.
The dock isn't colorized like it probably should have been.
You can paint, you can paint your Toyota logo like a Lexus. That don't make it a Lexus.
Don't like a different color or make some engravings on it. That is a special edition for me.
You could take a Lexus
decal on something that I don't know.
I'd bet money that
decal, slap it on your
Toyota. I would like to see that in person before I even touch it. I think if it wasn't as
that's not even remotely a good comparison, but
it kind of is.
When you're talking about just the dock, putting stickers on the dock versus buying a dock that has stickers.
If you're a collector, if you know anything about that,
but I'm not thinking of it from a collector standpoint. I'm thinking of you're using it and it's your dock sitting there next to your TV and people see it. That's how
I'm talking
I like
about
the dock.
value.
I just kind of wish they did more with it. Than just...
It's not going to make your games run any better. I'm talking about the value of it.
Well,
You can't slap a sticker on the dock and have that be the same thing as an etched dock.
Well, actually, and speaking of that, that was kind of my major concern, because usually what Nintendo likes to do with their handhelds is they'll release like a special edition, and then like a year later, here's a pro or upgraded version of the console, and you're like, you just got me to buy the same console twice.
Like 2 games work with it.
Yeah, I fucking hate that
said,
shit.
There's a lot of badass decal companies out there. You can get some really cool stuff that you'll never see, but that's still not the same as getting that Spider-Man edition of PS4 or.
You remember colorconsoles.com?
Yeah.
Yeah, they used to gut your entire console. They do basically the same paint job they would do on your car, and it's like you can.
For me, like the Joy-Con thing from Nintendo, like it's lessened by the fact that there are a lot of. I just bought one, a Joy-Con, like a colored, what do you call it, a shell kit, like that. That to me effectively hurts. Colored Joy-Con sales, as far as I'm concerned, unless you get like some, Smash decal or something. Unless you have something like that. I mean, they have colored buttons, like that looks way better.
Yeah, you could make. I'm sure there's ones that you can make it look like a Super NES.
Yeah, I've seen those. Like,
and then you put actual D-pad on them. Like, there's
D-pads and all kinds of stuff.
Well,
so
what we're really saying is we want Nintendo to be like Xbox and release a bunch of color controls.
So I don't care if they do that. What I'm saying is I don't care if they do that as much as like the PS4 has done, because of what we have now, with all these different companies who do the laser printing and have their own shells and all that stuff. Like, to me that's going to be always better than what Nintendo's going to do anyway.
That's kind of the point I was hoping to get to, was that there isn't that much to do with the Switch other than colored Joy-Cons and some etching on the back and then something on the dock. Like it's not, to me, it's a little, because the Joy-Cons can just slide off, and then, I mean...
It's some work, though. It ain't them little parts, it ain't no joke. Like, you got to have some steady hands.
I bet.
You still got the case in itself, though, because my friend, he had his Switch and customized, so it's a transparent purple. Can you remember, like, the Game Boy Advance?
Like the game, N64, and
and you can, you can take off the frame of the Switch itself, so you can have, technically, custom switches with the actual case in itself being completely custom, so you can see it on the front and obviously more on the back. But we're talking about the Pokemon one. I could imagine if they released a Smash Bros. Limited edition Switch, and the dock just had the Smash Cross just etched in across the front of the dock and stuff.
Isn't that a rumor currently?
People go nuts.
Well, no, those looks like Smash characters on the dock, not.
Actually, I think that looks better, in my opinion.
I think the characters, but what if they've had a Smash logo that lit up when you turn the system on instead of
playing around?
Now you're thinking.
To me, that's a special edition. Etching the dock to me is just.
But that's going to cost more.
That
makes it
special, though.
Yeah, but people have made those, haven't they, as well? They've made those.
That's what I'm saying. I think people do that better than
ones and stuff like that. Yeah.
Well, actually, speaking of the Smash Bros., anyone getting that special edition?
No, I already got an adapter and fucking controllers.
I bought it.
That's to me. That's so redundant, and unless you didn't have Wii U.
I already have a game.
If you don't have the Wii U, the Smash adapter.
It doesn't say Switch on it. Wii U doesn't exist.
I bought a brand new GameCube controller for my.
Oh no, not that. I'm talking about like the.
He's talking about the Pro controller.
The Pro controller.
Oh, you meant the Pro controller? I thought you were talking about the Smash.
No. The Pro controller.
The Pro controller looks nice. I mean,
I'd rather have the one that I missed out on, Xenoblade Chronicles one. That's what I want.
Dude, I'm so mad about that.
It's like 100+.
Yeah, it's ridiculous now.
Find it anymore.
I saw one a couple months ago. I didn't know they were rare. I would have fucking bought it.
It's especially considering how much.
Man, you can be killing me with this shit. Oh, I saw one just.
Dude, it was.
Didn't tell nobody.
I said a couple months, but it was probably June, July.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, great.
Just go to the country somewhere and find a GameStop there, and then walk in there and just buy it off the shelf.
But then you gotta make the drive and shit, and you don't know if it's there or not. I want to play that.
I never liked the design of the Xenoblade one. I would have liked it better if I feel like the green cross on it and then the fucking
I think it has it doesn't have
purple semi-pink handles and shit. Like I think the fugly shit. I actually prefer the Smash version with the white.
Well, they're preferring this controller because they actually raised the little excuse me for being politically incorrect, but the little tits on the inside to touch the little connector. So that way when you're using the D-pad, you're not accidentally touching more than one input at a time. Like if you're pressing up and you're pressing up and down at the same time.
That's a nice improvement. But
I have a sneaking suspicion that's what's gonna happen with the Smash Brothers one, and I'm like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm not.
I just don't like the white grips. That's the only problem.
That's gonna get dirty.
After a while, them bitches are gonna be black.
It'll be yellow. If you keep them clean.
That's what.
I mean, I'm almost by that point. It'd almost be 2 years on my Pro controller. I mean, I wouldn't mind having a new one at some point, but just like what T said, I'm worried about those grips getting pretty gnarly.
Yeah, leave the grip colors alone.
I don't know. I got a white Wii U Pro controller, and it's fine.
Well, that's hard plastic though. I don't know.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, this is rubber. This is
like mine's my white Wii U Pro controller definitely started to yellow up a bit, so I bought a decal that covers the face and stuff.
I put mine inside a box when I'm
looking at my Pro controller right now. I'm like, if this shit wasn't black, it would be black.
It's like the weirdest statement ever.
Actually,
it's like son, if you were black, you'd be black.
I take some cleaner and some water, about once a month to my controllers just to get the grease off them.
Especially if somebody other than you plays the console.
The semen and all that stuff.
Wow.
All that. Wrong kind of games to play.
Get all that Caucasian skin in the crevices.
Stop it.
I thought that was exclusively reserved for the iPhone and Android.
That cocoa butter off the skin. Black
grease. Damn it.
You know evil with Richard Pryor. And he's like, I'm black. Does God know?
Hair grease all over your
I will say though, the Smash Pro controllers, it's definitely the most appealing thing put out for the Switch, since it launched, as far as accessories and special edition related things. They
have shells for the Pro controller too. Like you can swap your shell out and get the.
I'm more confident in doing that than the fucking Joy-Cons.
Yeah, the Joy-Cons. If you ain't, you're not used to like opening small electronics and messing with stuff, I would recommend you not do it.
I mean, but if you've ever opened your phone before, you can do it.
Yeah, but most people haven't opened their phones.
Yeah, like most people don't open their phones.
I would actually do it if someone made one that had like some grip to it. Like they got those. The ones
Those little
that
ribbon cables, man. There's some good tutorials out there to help you through it, but if you're not used to messing around with tiny little ribbon cables, and you got fat ass fingers, you be stressing out trying to.
Hey, listen, you don't have fat fingers. You're just big bone. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's big bone, man. You can't touch some little ribbon cables. I mean, because they're tiny.
I got some decent sized digits, but I had like I got a little forceps and some other stuff that comes with my kit. So if I have to like,
you're gonna have to.
That's tiny.
Exactly, you're gonna have
just have Spawn Wave do it for you.
Oh, right. Well, how dare you?
He can show Shadow how to do it.
Yeah, he can show me how to do it, right? I've only been using Arctic Silver 5 for the past 25 years, but
maybe Super Metal Dave can teach you some things.
What's the call outs? The fuck is going on?
Wait until my video drops.
I just seen him.
We don't have any
Christ.
Shadow, I seen him going back and forth and stuff. That's why
I've seen
by back and forth. You mean they never reply because they have nothing to say?
They're not looking to bait. They're just
back and forth.
So
I don't give a fuck. We can talk about it. I don't care.
I'm talking about Juice been doing that on the side a lot lately.
By the way, everybody, Retro Death's back. You wanna? I forgot to kind of give you a little
no respect.
I mean, like why welcome them, right?
Welcome back. It took a PS4 to get him to come back.
If only it was that
still awaiting greatness.
Let's give him a minute. Welcome back, Retro. I mean, we're a bit into the podcast, but welcome back to Juices Loose. How's it feel?
It feels good that you guys can't talk shit behind my back anymore.
Behind your back on YouTube,
in front of your face, because we know you're listening.
First fucking week, all I hear is like, "Yeah, Metroid Prime echoes this and motherfuckers and shit."
To be fair, Juices can't be trusted. That's all that is.
Like, it's pretty silent all of a sudden.
I don't know. I heard something shitty about a shitty remark about Metroid Prime 2 Echoes. I don't know. I just really feel it.
So too early in the week, yo.
You can thank me in person for having Skate Fist following your YouTube channel, and then ended up giving you a PS4. Yeah. So
good stuff.
Yeah, no, like there was just so much shit going on in my life and everything, and I think when I made the Darksiders video, Skate's Finest, he came up and shit. He was like, yeah, I heard you wanted a PS4, and I got one for you. And I was like, yeah, okay, sure, we'll see about that. But I'm like, yeah, let's talk about it, And then he actually fucking sent me a PS4 just because I was saving up for one. But I broke up with my fiance, and so money is like important to live right now. And he's like, I don't use the thing; it's collecting dust. So here, if you're happy with it, and I'm playing greatness right now.
Well, if Skate's in the chat right now, I can give my PO box number so we can.
I know, right?
Shout out to him though, man. Like even if he wasn't gonna play that system,
that's good shit.
Getting it to France, I can tell you right now, shipping 2 Blu-rays to Retro, shit wasn't cheap. But I guess the lady didn't understand me. It got there in 2-3 days.
Yeah,
I said
really fast.
Yeah, I wasn't going for speed, but she just she told me
you paid for it.
Retro paid for speed. He was going for comfort.
But trust me, I never brought it up because and like Skate had, I don't know how much, and I never asked, because whatever. But he probably had to pay a fuck ton to shut.
I would guess at least.
But I actually
75.
also still had to pay like at the door. They were like, "Oh, we need these custom charges," and I was like, "Okay," and that was kind of like a lot already too. Like it's bullshit shipping like between America and Europe.
It was cheaper than a PS4, I hope.
Wait, fuck! He shipped it overseas.
It was.
I forgot about that part.
Yeah, it was definitely still worth it. Yeah, and in the end, he still gave it to me, so that doesn't change anything.
Right.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
That's real cool.
Too bad there's no good games on the system, but
greatness awaits.
Really?
The guy who debated on getting God of War like a little while ago.
I thought it was like $40.
I like this. That's $40 you could have used towards something else. So apparently it was worth it.
I mean,
he can
always buy. He can buy Batman Light and have
Hey man, chill out. Listen.
Yeah, I gotta talk about something too. I was gonna do this in the Juice Opinions, and then I just didn't make one this end of the week.
You've been playing that ball game.
But the whole I saw all these comments. Oh, Digital Foundry. They proved it wasn't a downgrade. Proven. So I read the article and then I watched the video.
Fake news.
And what cracks my ass up is that not one person in the comment section or anywhere noticed what he said. First of all, he didn't want to say downgrade, but he said they changed the reflection technique from cubes to something else, to static or whatever. And
which means it's not real.
Yeah, he just would not utter the words it was downgrade. He just kept saying they changed it to this technique, and I believe it's not because of horsepower. I feel it was probably because of time. Probably.
How is it because of time?
Because of time. Because it was already there. They fucking took it away.
Wouldn't time?
Well, to do the whole game, I guess, like to get all the reflections to look like to have that level would be too time consuming. So basically, everyone took that as, well, it's not downgrade. Yeah, they did enhance some stuff too, no doubt about it. They improved like the density of the traffic and some really low quality interiors in some of the skyscrapers. But the fact that he kept wording it so he wasn't saying they made it's a lesser the end result, he just kept saying, yeah, well, it is more impressive. The 2017 shot here definitely does look more to your eye. And then the whole suit reflections being gone is just, it's an artistic change. They changed it to a fabric. And I'm just like, it doesn't look as good. So you made all these, like all this runaround to basically say, well, it's not because the PS4 couldn't handle it. It was because it took too much time.
But they can't do that because you go onto their website and the entire website is surrounded in banners advertising fucking Spider-Man.
Yes.
That's what it's about. Can we be real?
That's Sony water, man.
Like I'm not like an Xbox fanboy or anything either. I would notice how they would talk about Xbox One games and comparing to PS4. Like this is something that I've been seeing in a long time. And so with this being a controversy, especially with Xbox fanboys jumping on it, I just felt like Sony sent them a check, and that's how I feel. Like nobody can tell me different because they said something without saying it.
Yeah, the simple thing would have been, hey, yeah, the end result doesn't look as good as it did in 2017, but I don't feel it was because of the hardware. I think it's because it would have been too time consuming. That's all I had to say. Yeah, but he wouldn't even say that. He basically just said it in a way that anyone that was not paying enough attention would just say, oh, it's definitely an upgrade now. It's an upgrade. And I'm like, the game still looks good.
I'm glad you're able to see it. At the end of the day, the game still looks good. Like so it's just pointless to even like
there's no point to lie about it.
Pay for this. Pay for the lies. It just makes no sense. They want to control the narrative. It's all about the narrative.
And I don't care about that kind of stuff. The end result, the game does have a lot of little details that kind of are really cool and kind of make the world feel a little bit more alive. So they got a lot of nice little details in that I appreciate. But the whole downgrade, now it's not a downgrade. And basically the story's over. No one's talking about it anymore. And it's just like, so they proved it. It's not a downgrade. Well,
that's okay.
Because they know most morons are not even gonna watch the video or read an article, and they just say, "Oh, here's the here's the headline."
It shows again how big. I done a video on this, a while back. How big of an impact these digital foundries are having on the industry. How much people pay attention to them now, and use them now as it's like that standard to say, right, this, game like that, and it can change, it can certainly change the way you think about games and stuff, and especially with kids today, these are the last things we need when graphics, frame rate, and all that shit is just shoved in your face constantly. It's
like Rotten Tomatoes. It's like, oh, what's the Rotten Tomatoes score? Like, really? Like, what are we thinking about these things?
Here's my thing. I know where this guy comes from, Mr. Ledbetter. I know where all this stuff comes from, where it originated from, and I watched it all happen. And I watched gaming press just say, "Okay, we'll listen to you," because the Resonate Tech guys that we have inside of our offices, people call us on our shit a lot, so we need somebody else to point to, and so they've been using them. So Game Informer started using them first, and obviously they're in bed with GameStop and whatnot, so they have a lot of money behind everything that they say. And I just started to notice, I'm like, okay, what is your background? And I noticed the about is we talk about video games. How long have you been talking about video games? Oh, okay. So what is your technical background? Have you ever developed a game? Have you ever written a program other than the PowerShell script you use to measure frames as they're counted from any capture card that you want to pick? So what we're doing is we're listening to you because you have an old capture batch file from 1998 that you modified and you use it with the capture card, and now your word is gospel. That's really what the fuck we're doing. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. And I noticed there's a more efficient piece of software that's out right now that'll do it for no matter what type of video feed that you send to it. It'll be able to give you better results and tell you the changes in frame time every time you send it. And I have that now. And now that I've been able to play with it a little bit, I'm like, these motherfuckers. So
Isn't that obvious though from them? You know, literally, because that's one thing I complained about is when they do these analyses on the videos of the the demo videos, not actual from direct hardware or anything. This is from
almost 10 years now. For almost 10 years they've been doing this.
Sometimes they do it from they get developer will send them
a video,
direct a capture of the E3 demo, and then they do that.
They can render that shit out at any frame they want to, frame rate they want.
But I will say, for me personally, someone who's been a multi-console owner for a while and had a PC, for me, other than the DF Retro, I think is a fabulous series that they do, and you can tell that I forget the guy's name that does DF Retro.
Love that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He's a true. You can tell this dude's a gamer. He plays games. He's a tech guy too, and he loves to use the technical terms for light shafts coming through foliage. But you can tell he's an actual gamer. The other guy, I'm not so sure. He just seems like a tech guy who they saw an opportunity to have success as a YouTube channel, and it became
like console wars.
Yeah, pretty much.
As somebody who's looking at a multi-plat coming out on Friday, I was thinking, maybe I could get the PS4 version. So I was curious if the base PS4 had what it had for options, and it's just a lock 30. There's no, the PS4 Pro has a high frame rate option, but I don't have the Pro. So I was like, I'm not going to
have the Pro. What?
But
so
I think that helps me make a decision on a multi-plat, knowing that if I had the PS4 Pro or had an Xbox One X, knowing, hey, there's a 60 frames per second option. This is, how Xbox One X basically sticks at 60 almost the whole game. Like, that would be, I'm getting that version.
Juice, can I ask you a question though?
Mm.
What if in a scenario, and I'm going to say that this is true, but I'm gonna give you this scenario. What if there's a 30 frames per second game that felt better and smoother than the 60 frames per second game?
Are you talking about the same game or two different games?
It could be the same game.
I'd say, give me an example.
So I would say the original game that's 30 frames per second was the lead platform, and the console that it was ported to was 60 frames per second. And that original console that was the lead platform, the lead developers knew all the input timings of that console, but didn't know them for the console they were porting to do 60. Because the reason why I'm saying this is the frame rate itself is only how it appears to the individual when you're playing it versus what the actual frame time is. If you get what I'm saying, if your input doesn't respond in time, it doesn't matter if it's 120 frames.
Oh, you're talking about like controller latency and input latency and stuff too.
Yes, and how the entire game responds. So if it's 30 frames per second, but yet they time in between frames, you can get a fluid 60 based on the input timings. So it just depends. If they're a good developer, it really doesn't matter what the frame rate is, to be honest with you. If they're just porting shit just to port shit, then I don't know. I guess go as high as you can. But
the reboot, starting from the reboot to this one, they've all been PC primary developed and then console. So they're
because you kind of want to stay PC anyway.
So you said you were getting Tomb Raider, Shadow of Tomb Raider. That's this weekend, isn't it?
I think it's Friday.
Yeah, you're getting that on PC then, right?
Yeah, that definitely now.
But can your PC run that at 60, or you're gonna do that at 30? I'm guessing.
You could probably just do 1080p.
Yeah, I ain't gonna try to get no 1440p like Terrell's trying to run the original Tomb Raider at 4K on a 1050, and it's like, dude, you're gonna get so much better performance.
Oh no, I know that. I'm just saying I wanted to see if I could do it.
I don't think I'm gonna hit it. I'd have to probably go medium settings, but
okay. So you're just gonna go 1080, 60, and then just lower the settings.
Yeah, because I played all the other two on my PC. So
the reason why I asked, because I remember when Rise came out, you said your thing was struggling to consistently hit 60, right?
You bought Rise on
probably
PC?
Probably on Ultra.
Oh, that's what it was. I remember you saying it, but I don't remember in what context.
Either way, I know the big difference in Rob Rule 2 was like, man, I bought Rise of the Tomb Raider, man. God, it just plays so sluggish and this and that. I'm like, really? I was like, man, that's one of the. He's like, God, these controls are just off.
Oh yeah, what did he buy that on?
And I'm like, dude, this is the reason I love this game so much. It's one of the best controlling games I've played.
Yeah,
that's not a Nintendo game. Turns out there was like an issue with the Xbox One version that had terrible
because it was
input lag with the controller.
Rise or the original Tomb Raider?
Rise was
okay. The first Tomb Raider was good.
The 360 didn't even the 360 actually played better than the Xbox One version because of the input lag.
Wow.
Of the controller.
I think the 360 was the lead platform.
Wait, Rise
I don't remember any issues
came
with
on the
that.
360?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what
that
I
was
said.
like, wasn't that like 2014?
2016.
That's kind of late. Huh?
Was it?
PC early 2016, late 2015.
Yeah, I know the first game did. I didn't know Rise came with 360.
I was thinking that just seems.
Look it up. That's why I've always said Shadow could. I mean, yeah, they'd have to cut it back, but it
blows me away. They were still putting games with a 360.
But
that's crazy. But yeah, there's money out there, so why not go get it, right?
And they know they install base. Still putting games in the Wii.
Well, the Wii makes a little more sense to me than the 360.
Which
then what was the name of that game? Let's Dance.
Yeah,
Just Dance. Also on everything on the Wii.
Oh, it's still on. They putting the newest one on the Wii.
Just Dance is on Wii this year again.
Yeah, it's fucking stupid. I don't even know. Jeez.
Well, going from that, it made me. It reminded me of another one we're talking about. Rise running on the Xbox 360. So in the last week or so, we had the what the hell's the dude's name from?
He's
from
not shitting this on the 360. What the fuck?
The guy from Treyarch, the head guy, David.
Oh, the Call of Duty dude laughing.
So he was asked, and somebody brought up a point, and it is. I mean, it's possible. It's not a bad point, but you don't know. But he was asked, can we any Switch version for Black Ops 4? And the dude just started laughing. And then he went on to say, well, I just make the shoes, I don't make the decisions. I don't know why.
But you saw how he laughed, though.
Why would you laugh?
That was just
why would you laugh?
Somebody pointed out that maybe he'd been asked this a bunch of times, and the decision isn't his. So possibly that could be what he thought was funny, but for me, instantly felt like he was just
genuine to me. That seems like
the thought of the game running on Switch is what I
mean. See, I wasn't sure about that because it's like, bitch, you put Call of Duty on the Wii, and that was a way bigger difference. So,
but here's the other scenario. Chances are he's working on that shit now. He just can't say nothing because
that's what I was thinking. I was thinking he was just
they never worked on it. They had a separate studio or a separate team that handled Nintendo ports.
Yeah,
I thought Treyarch was the team working on Nintendo ports.
He wouldn't sully his hands with making a Nintendo port, but I think the bigger you could say Black Ops on the Wii.
Yeah, but I thought Treyarch made all.
Yeah, but the Nintendo version, they had a specific Call of Duty, but it was Treyarch members.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Treyarch ported.
That's why I thought it was Treyarch.
Treyarch ported Modern Warfare.
It was only like a dozen of their team worked on the Nintendo versions.
It's never going to be a big team. Never going to be a big team.
But I think the bigger game to point to that makes that ridiculous is Black Ops 3. The last game they made was on the PS3 and Xbox 360.
Yeah, that should have been on the Wii U.
Oh, people were mentioning in the comments.
No,
they put Call of Duty on.
Yeah, I'm talking about the difference between an Xbox One PS4 to a PS3. If you could make Black Ops 3 run on a PS3 and Xbox 360. You can make Black Ops 4 run on the more powerful Switch.
But that's why it didn't make sense to me. That's why I didn't feel like he was like trying to throw shade at the Switch, because first of all, that doesn't really play the way it played on the Wii U. Throwing shade at the Switch doesn't play because it's a lot more popular, and the fact that you guys put games out on the Wii, which was way bigger of a difference as far as
yes, most definitely.
Than switch to Xbox One. So
as soon as someone pointed that out, I was like, yeah, you might be right. He might just thought it was funny because people keep asking him, and he doesn't make the decision. So
because I was about to make a video about it, nothing crazy, just kind of making fun of it. But
so what do you think?
I don't think he's trying to throw shade or anything. I think this is just. He said,
"What do you think has changed now? Then, because the Wii was, selling loads, really popular console, and so is a Switch.
They had no choice with the Wii.
But do you feel they have a choice with the Switch?
I think they do, because they're still the whole situation is now you have to deal with I gotta front the cost for this big ass fucking cartridge. So that's the other thing as well, because Nintendo's not giving them money for that. They have to buy them up front, and you're talking. We're gonna do this build, and we gotta print 1 million of these motherfuckers, and you don't know until you're done what size your game is gonna be. So you're looking at 32 to 64 gigs of this damn extra ROM memory that is by and large proprietary. There's only one company that makes it, and you got to buy that ROM and then throw it on a card and then sell it and hope that it sells enough so you get your money back to recoup your money on development and publishing and of course any other type of advertisement. So
yeah, that's Switch's biggest hurdle is the media, games come
on because like NBA 2K, like it's what 32 gigs or 36 gigs.
Yeah, and then you still got to download shit because it's it's like 90 gigs on other platforms. So
it was easier on Wii because one, it was cheap.
And the file size was going to be small.
The file size was smaller, because obviously it was a DVD versus like the Blu-ray.
It was 480p.
It was 480p, so it was cheaper to do that.
No digital audio. So they could.
And what you lost made more sense. It was okay because it's like, all right, we were downgrading to a 480p system, So obviously it's not going to be. But the thing is, the Switch version, it's got to be pretty similar, And then you have a smaller, medium to put it on. So that's
there's nothing stopping short of ignorance. There's nothing stopping anybody porting anything to the Switch at this point. It's going to be those things. It's going to be file size. Can they pay for it? And
money,
and money. Period. Because now you got to pay for a team to develop for the Switch version. Of course, everybody's PlayStation fanboys, so the PlayStation is going to be the lead platform. That's what the publisher is going to tell them to do and work on first. So,
can I ask something? Because I didn't watch. I saw everybody make videos, but I didn't watch this dude laugh and shit. But was it similar to the Titanfall guy who was like an actual dick about it, or was it just some? Because everybody made it seem like it was super bad.
His laugh was like, "Shut the fuck up, asking me." That's what kind of laugh it was like. Ha ha ha! Stop.
I'm not making games for the Game Boy Advance. It
was basically how he was.
It wasn't condescending. I don't think condescending.
Because these days, like in YouTube, I barely watch most people's videos anymore. I don't think I watch any new shit anymore because everybody make like this super big deal about it. It's super bad because you just know they want to click, so I just stopped caring.
Well, I just mentioned the problem. The problem with that is that they probably weren't, being deceptive or trying to get clicks. They just didn't go look at the source material. That's all. I think they just heard about it and they were ill-informed. They got mad and made a video. And because I was going to make a video and I was like, oh, this isn't even that big of a deal.
And the thing is, there could be some slight in his mind because, Black Ops 3 on the PS4 sold 15 million. That was their last game. So, they definitely aren't worried about getting another million from Switch owners or something. The game still sells.
But next year, that'd be 2 million. Next year after that, could be 5 million. If you look at the
Wii, the best-selling Wii one was only 2 million. That was with the... That was what
but people keep using
that was like zero advertisement too. So zero advertisement, you still sold 1 million copies.
Those are two different comparisons. Like, I was surprised that it sold 1 million. You're looking at you're coming from the HD version down to the Wii version, and people were like, I'm surprised it sold as well as it did. It's like, why would I want to go back to that?
Yeah.
And the later Wii games didn't they were closer to 1 million. With the first 2 years, there were 2 million, and then the as later in life they started dropping off.
Once people started putting the Wii's in their closet and started collecting dust.
Yeah,
I honestly didn't even know Black Ops or Modern Warfare 3 was the one I didn't even know made it on the Wii.
Yeah.
And I'm like, really? That was on the Wii? It's like, fuck.
Hey, can we kill that phrase though? Collecting dust, like we're people. You know, the dust comes from us, right? Even if you're playing it, it's collecting dust.
Wash your ass, then. You know, like,
dust your fucking house.
Wash your
Wash your ass, dust your house. Exfoliate.
Actually, I don't think there was Modern Warfare 3 on the Wii. I'm looking at. Looks like
yeah, it was just it was Modern Warfare.
Black Ops could be the last one.
Modern Warfare 3 did come to the Wii.
Did it?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yes, right after Black Ops. It sure did. I have the freaking headset.
It had the white cover,
page,
the white cover with the surge on the front.
Yeah, there's a
Don't
second
tell
page.
me about collecting dust when you have a console that's selling single game only on one platform. You're selling 20 million plus units. Don't tell me about collecting no dust. I don't want to hear it.
Motherfuckers playing the hell out of this shit.
You want to talk about 40 million, some of those games. Mario Kart was like 34, wasn't it?
I mean,
oh yeah, Mario. Yeah, I was just.
If you want to get extremely technical, all PlayStation 4s and Xbox Ones collect dust. Switches don't, because you pick them up and take them with you.
Yeah, my Switch is very clean.
Yeah,
I'm looking at it right now. I was like, oh.
Yeah, I just actually dusted my PS4 for the first time in a few months.
Oh man, I had to do that with my son.
On.
His sounded like a fucking jet turbine, so I had to make him clean it.
Mine was like that. I had to buy the tools to open that motherfucker up. I was pissed off, man. I don't want to clean my consoles like they're PCs now. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't happen. They should be able to sit there, a little bit of dust, and we keep on going.
With the 360, basically 360 PS3.
Yeah, they're overheating because the systems weren't ready to just run off a heatsink yet.
Right.
We weren't used to this kind of abuse, okay, guys? We were used to like a Dreamcast, okay? And the N64, it had a big ass heatsink in it. You ain't need no fan. You just turn it on. And
so, trivia question: what was the global #1 selling game the week ending August 4th, 2018?
August.
Grand Theft Auto.
Mario Kart.
Anyone else want to guess?
August 4th?
Yeah.
Octopath Traveler, wasn't it?
Maybe Octopath, yeah.
The right
Octopath
answer,
Mario.
I mean, may have been said, but if everybody guessed yet?
Yeah, I'll say Octopath.
GTA wasn't even on the top 10. This is for global because Japan's a big influence. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe was #1 game.
Oh, of course. What was I thinking?
I shouldn't have been surprised.
Well, Octopath was #1 1 week. But,
let me read the top 10. So, Etrian Odyssey X 3DS game #2, WarioWare Gold #3, Super Mario Odyssey 4, Splatoon 2 5, Project Octopath. Okay, why do they say Project? Octopath Trailer 6, Breath of the Wild 7, Mario Tennis 8, Pro Yaku Famitsu Evolution #9, Nintendo Switch, Minecraft Nintendo Switch #10. Every single game is a Nintendo.
What was that?
That's when the Switch was dominating.
Oh, this is worldwide.
That's worldwide.
Sales.
That's world God.
Unless
how many units? You know?
Actually, maybe this is before they because in the U.S. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe 21,000. Where did GTA go in this? It's like dropped.
Which one said Japan? Because I saw the Pro.
GTA is about to go away because Spider-Man and 2K.
Well, no,
2K is probably gonna be #1.
That and Red Dead Redemption 2 is gonna
Red Dead,
I wonder what this Switch. This must be a Japanese only game.
That's why I'm surprised that's a global. That sounds more like Japan's.
Yeah, it was #2 in Japan, 40,000, and then that was only. In Japan.
I'll say what else came out.
So nothing else.
So Switch is dominating in Japan.
Well, this is worldwide.
That's worldwide, but Switch has been dominating Japan for a while.
Yeah, I say didn't they just pass 5 million units recently?
Yeah.
There is a PS4 game on the Japanese top 10.
What was the game?
There was like one.
Saga Scarlet Grace, #10.
What is that?
Oh, that game.
There's got to be some obscure
Japanese
stuff. In other news, Hollow Knight is coming to Xbox One, PS4 on September 25th. So if I doubt anybody listening to us doesn't have a Switch, but pick that fucking game up.
Yeah, man.
On whatever system you can, man.
I'll be on my Dragon Ball Fighters addiction.
I'm almost done. I would say I'm I'm at one of a boss that there's like 8 things that get resurrected, and you start off fighting 1, and then all of a sudden you're fighting 2 at the same time. You get those 2 quick enough, then 2 more.
I know.
I've died about 20 times, and I think I'm gonna go explore some others. And that's
who said they just finished? Was it you, clocked it?
I finished it a while back.
Oh, maybe it was.
I think,
Red.
Red finished it long ago.
I'm about to go and play. I have to go and play that. I have it on Steam.
It's funny how I was stuck, and then as soon as I found the next ability, all of a sudden I just let me go here. I see a spot where I can't go left anymore. Oh, I need this ability where I can shoot over big gaps, and I just found the next item and just opened up everything, and now it's just like I just had to get over that one hurdle, and now I'm flying pretty good. So just amazing. I was in this area where and I think I mentioned this last week, or I'm not sure, but you got all these like spider webs and different layers, like foreground, background, and then like spiders will like it'd be just an outline, like a silhouette will crawl across your screen, and then all of a sudden they'll pop out of the screen and become actual enemies you have to fight, and it's so well done. Like that art style.
It's one of the reasons why I think Hollow Knight is one of the better Castlevania type games out there. I feel that Hollow Knight, like
Metroidvania, you mean?
Always
I made him say it. I did it. Yay!
No.
I mean, like
this is what we're doing, guys. This is what we're doing.
That's a single word.
You will always find new roads, like new ways, even before you get new moves. Like it is extremely rare in Hollow Knight for you to get stuck so long until you find a new move. Like it's so rare. It's so well programmed, that shit.
My problem was I took a break and I forgot the areas I had explored and which ones I hadn't. So I just had to get a little bit of a guide to which area I had to look in. So I had to do a little cheat just to know, hey, I got to go to this area. And then I was like, oh shit. Once I got there, I was like, fuck, all I did was run through it and get to the other side. I've never explored here.
Yeah,
so I explored
games
here.
like that, I would start over. If you got to take a long break and then you try to come back, I would start over.
I think RPGs for me are like that, where it's like if I walk away from RPG like 40 hours in, I need to go back and over.
When did it come out on PC? 2016 or
2016, I think.
Yeah, 2016.
Because it's so good that I might have to make an exception for the Game of the Year requirements.
Well, it came out on Switch this year.
Came out on Switch and other consoles this year, and it's like, God,
I feel like that's
so
a
good.
fair argument.
I'd hate to not have it on my list.
Absolutely fine.
I mean,
well,
if you went by the original release date on PC, it'd be a whole bunch of games left out. So there's no way. That's kind of not really. And I thought that was kind of weird that
but I don't want to
Gaming Press did that, and now I was like, no. There's like a million games that would never get covered because they came out in 2014 in beta.
You can count it because they actually just released a new trailer. They're gonna have like the complete game coming out now because the final DLC is released. So now they made like a complete version that's gonna come out this year.
The only problem I have with allowing like Hollow Knight, which did I say 2016? I think it was 2017 it came out.
What? How you talking about on
Steam? No, it says. Well, this is the. Let me find the
2016
game. Either way, if you can kind of open up the door because a lot of games came out on Switch this year that were from previous years. So it's like
no, it says 2017 on.
Yeah, it was the beginning of 2017.
Oh, it was beginning. Okay,
it was February.
I thought it was late.
So I'm kind of torn because then it opens up basically every game on Switch, whether it's an old port or not, would be.
Yeah, because then I suppose because no one, you think about it, literally no one I have seen talk about Bayonetta 2 on the Switch this year, and Bayonetta 2 is arguably one of the best action games ever made. It's all said to me it was the best action game ever made. I would say fine, but the fact that no one's talking about it,
it's kind of weird because
I don't understand.
So many people bitched that it was on Wii U.
It didn't sell well on the Wii U, so. Oh, obviously, when it comes to Switch, it should have sold 5 million copies. I don't understand.
Yeah, that's true. There wasn't a lot of people.
It's action perfection. It's fucking phenomenal.
I
honestly think the most of the people that bought the Switch version had it on Wii U. I don't think there was a ton of new
Let's see.
That's not what I've been hearing.
Yeah, the sales are great.
It was so many people bitching talking about I'm not gonna buy a Wii U for that. Oh my god,
Yeah,
I'm so
it
mad.
hasn't even hit half a
I
million
hear
yet.
more people talk about Donkey Kong and Captain Toad.
Some of those people have a Switch right now, and they're not playing Bayonetta on that shit. I don't understand.
Yeah,
Well, I'm
VG
just saying,
Charts has it pretty low. 40,
Yeah, it's at like 400,000.
I'm confused.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe,
So it's almost like they were never gonna buy it anyway, just like they never bought it on the 360 and PS3.
They had, they had what 100 million plus consoles out there. They could have bought it on
night, Joe. Somebody, boy, look out for the phone.
Hey, also Captain Toad so far.
I was saying that from the beginning.
Well, even Donkey Kong
came out before Captain Toad, though. It had a few months.
Donkey Kong's over 1 million, isn't the Switch?
No, it's at 0.96.
No, I think Nintendo had it on their million list.
Yeah, Nintendo said it would hit 1 million.
Oh, Nintendo, okay.
Yeah. I just that whole thing, like,
but
people
still, that's not that impressive when you look at the install basis.
It's not.
No,
especially when the freaking Wii U version is almost at 2 million.
And you know what hurt it? The biggest thing that hurt it was that damn price. That's plain and simple.
Yeah,
that shit came out Captain Toad price, which it should have. It would have.
I probably would have bought it.
2 million. I would have bought it.
Yeah, I would have double lipped.
I bet most people who bought it on Wii U would have bought it.
It just, again, I mean, I know Terrell don't want to get into this, but it just the fact that all they did was, well, not all, but they just made the frame rate closer to a lock 60 and no other changes at all.
Easy load.
And then for Bayonetta, so just like
Bayonetta.
Yeah, on top of the 60, I was just like, man. I mean, they had.
When I heard it was coming, I was kind of excited, but then I was like, y'all ain't really.
I still think it's a better sell than Donkey Kong is.
I know,
but it wasn't going to sell though, because like you said, T, like when you're talking about 160 million consoles user base, and then this game sold 1.8 million.
Well, if you bought it on
across the PS3 and the 360,
if you bought it on PS3, that's a shame on you because that PS3 version.
But 1 million people bought it on the PS3.
I bought it. I played it on PS3.
Oh man!
But look, don't feel bad. I bought Skyrim on PS3.
That was the first time I played the fucking game was on PS3.
What do you guys? What do you think Hyrule Warriors did? Because I think that one probably sold even less than.
I would be. Let me Google it. I'm googling it.
I'm kind of happy because if Nintendo sees this, other than
Hyrule Warriors deserve not to
Mario Kart 8.
Yeah, that was probably the word. Well, at least they did something though. They did combine the 3DS version.
No, Hyrule Warriors is even less than Bayonetta. It's like 330.
Yeah, I'm glad. Even though I wish Bayonetta 2 was a bigger.
I think Bayonetta 2 deserved to sell more.
But I
would argue Hyrule Warriors deserved to sell more. That's
a good message for Nintendo to see. Hey, the Wii U ports aren't selling like we.
Yeah, you can't do that shit in 2019, bro. You gotta come with some games.
Well, you can. You just got to pick the better game.
They're like, it worked from PS3 to PS4.
it damn sure worked over there.
With the game
2013, 2014, 2015.
With what it looks like 2019 could be, there's no room for a Wii U port. That should just get obliterated.
To me, that was the best. That was the best port.
You got 12 months. I don't think they got a game.
You got Fire Emblem. You got the mainline Pokemon. You got potential Metroid.
But I think that's the thing. Fire Emblem Warriors is what hurt that port. Like people were like, I'm not playing it. I'm not gonna buy that again. After Fire Emblem Warriors.
Fire Emblem Warriors sold less than 500,000 copies.
Yeah, it did. It's like 0.47.
It did. I thought it was.
Nah.
What?
Well, that had bad placement anyway.
It was timing. It was a timing
thing. A week before Odyssey was.
I think it matters that they're all Warriors games because that is seriously though. Hyrule Warriors thing is the 5th Warriors games or something on the Switch already. Like you got like.
We're about to
Mythic Stella and One Piece and shit. Like it's not just because those two were together.
Well, we're about to get your Orochi Warriors in a little while.
That's true.
They saw the die.
Warriors games don't sell that much anyway. Like so, they just make you think anyway.
Even 1 million copies is good.
You know what they should have done though? They should have pushed Fire Emblem Warriors into the early 2018 to start us out with a new game, into Kirby, into Mario Tennis.
Yeah.
I think it would have been a better spot for it.
Because it didn't really help. It didn't really help the Switch as far as sales go, so they could
it didn't.
pushed it.
It was just kind of there.
Someone in chat saying that Fire Emblem sold over 1 million worldwide.
I thought it was
that
over
on
a million.
Nintendo's list? I don't think it was.
I don't think it is. I really don't. I'm looking at VG charts. It don't even have it at half.
Well, you can't VG charts. You can't use it.
Nintendo announced all their.
Using it as a rough estimate. I don't think
Nintendo announced all their million sellers. That's the easy way to prove that right or wrong.
But so here's the thing. Like I was reading one of the comments on VG charts, and they were talking about, man, too many games came out at one time for me to buy this or whatever, right? But it's your fault though, because remember that was the main complaint about the Wii U. Oh, these droughts. Yeah. There's no game, no games. You ain't got no games. You exposed. Okay, so
I see a headline. Just real quick, I see a headline for Fire Emblem Warriors over 1 million. So worldwide is what it says.
Really?
Yeah.
It's not listed on Nintendo.
I could have sworn Fire Emblem Warriors.
VG charts is like
like gaming boat. Koei Tecmo. Yeah. That's.
Huh. Oh, that's
I remember
on
seeing
Nintendo game. Yeah, Nintendo only lists there.
Yeah, that's a Nintendo game.
That's a Tecmo Koei game, so that's why.
I mean, that's good. That's good numbers then.
I'm surprised.
I thought it
what
did
Shadow Fox was gonna say, like, just ask Juice if the Switch has any droughts this year.
Oh, you know what they're probably doing? They're probably combining. Are they combining the 3DS game
with what?
Oh yeah,
remember Fire Warriors
did
a 3DS game.
Warriors.
Yeah, I forgot all about it, but yeah, it did have it too.
I'm sure that's.
I don't know. Let me check. Let me read the article instead of just reading the damn headline.
Well, it wouldn't have made a difference. Of course, it didn't even sell 200,000.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what did the 3DS version say? Because nobody bought that shit.
It's like 0.14. I'm surprised as many people bought it.
It didn't sell 1 million. They said they shipped 1 million worldwide.
It shipped 1 million.
Yeah, I still.
Xbox talk right there.
Xbox.
That's some Sony numbers.
No, this says sold right here. It says sold on Gaming Boat.
Gaming Boat is probably this is probably their source though. It's probably that it's a tweet from Tecmo Koei.
Yeah, I see. Yeah. 1 million units shipped worldwide, but.
Hey, if Sony says that doesn't matter, then everybody else should feel that way. Ship doesn't matter anymore, okay?
And so that's the problem. So numbers bounce around so much, and then the original source is like 9 layers deep, and then you got to dig and go, and then but everybody has already created their headline, and then somebody else jumped and created another headline because they saw somebody else with one. Nobody thought to fucking look at the actual information that everything came from.
Hey man, I can't be bothered with all that.
Man, that's
a bunch of extra time and effort I ain't got.
This is why I could never find a source that said Wii U was weak, because every source was.
Real quick though.
Well, come on, man. You should just know
about the ship to sold. It ain't like I go in a game store and I see like 35 copies of Fire Emblem Warriors sitting on the shelf. So
yeah, so it's probably sold. You're right.
I think it's sold. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's sold. If it's not sold, it's close. It's 900,000.
900,000 stores probably. Well, maybe across the world.
Yeah, but I'd say it depends on the.
I wonder how many stores there are in the world that sell video games.
I doubt there's like 500,000 copies of Fire Emblem Warriors sitting in the damn shelves. Even
but then you're talking about Japan too.
And the other thing, we don't know the digital sales.
Yeah.
That's changed a lot as well now, because supermarkets, especially in the UK, have really gotten big into selling video games now. We've only really got one big major game store, which is literally called Game. In terms of the high street retailer,
just go to Best Buy.
We all know Game.
But now most games, are sold out to like if you don't get them online off Amazon or whatever, you're gonna get them in Asda's or Tesco. These are our big, shop.
Like we got Target and Walmart.
Food stalls and stuff. Yeah. And these places, that's who's gotten into them now. We've lost Toys R Us. We've lost Woolworths and all these places. And it's just a big supermarkets and then 1 or 2 game shops themselves. And that's it. That's all you can get them from.
Okay, so Koei Tecmo, they're I can link it in the chat if you like, but Koei Tecmo, they actually did list in their financial results that it shipped 1 million.
Yeah.
So which I guess
this was in April.
To be fair, doesn't that mean that because do they get paid off of the game being sold or just selling?
They sold it to
they do, but that's not the end of it.
They don't get the full amount unless it's sold, right?
For them.
Well, they can get buybacks is what happens. So they pay for it up front, but GameStop and other people that have a vested interest, that basically companies that have a lot of pull, like Walmart or whatever, they can say, look, these motherfuckers ain't selling, and then they could charge a buyback to the publisher, and the publisher has to eat it.
Okay.
And they don't reference that. They usually hold on to that and count that as a deficit the next fiscal year. So their investors aren't cussing them the fuck out. That's the kind of the business juggling. It's the weirdest shit, but those are the things that you never see that in the press article. But that's what usually happens when it comes to retail like that, because you'll see GameStop destroying discs left and right, and they've already got a check from whoever, from Samsung or whoever the fuck developed whatever kind of dumb shit they turn up.
I'm curious how well Monster Hunter sold. Because Monster Hunter came out, what was that, last week?
It was out in Japan for a long time last year.
I hope it ain't sell shit. That's what I hope.
T protesting not even download the Mega Man 11 demo.
Why?
I don't even want to download that shit. I hate Capcom so much right now.
I can tell you right now,
Capcom got you in the feels.
It doesn't make me regret not playing a bunch of Mega Mans over the years playing that demo. Like that's
also you did play the demo.
Yeah, it's definitely not my cup of tea.
Mega Man 11.
I haven't tried it yet.
Mega Man is an acquired taste.
I don't like that you can't shoot on a diagonal. That's just so weird to me.
Oh, that's Mega Man though. You can't do that.
But it was just.
But it is 2018.
Anybody?
I'm a huge Mega Man fan, and I downloaded the demo on the PS4 actually, because then I instantly, in case the Switch was weirder, I had like a better quality version because you didn't know. And I don't know what it is. Something feels really off when you play it. I don't know if there's like a delay when he shoots or the way he moves. I think they tried something to make it seem way too much like the NES game. I don't know. Something is off when it's playing it. So the game is not done. So I hope they improve the
level design seems so fucking bland to me. Like
mega trash.
That's
like, they did some great.
Bring it back to the cartoon, Mega.
Because they did some amazing shit with Mega Man. How you can, for example, call Rush Coil with one button. How you can fucking switch from weapon just by using the D-stick and all that kind of shit. The R&R buttons and shit. It's so well designed, but it plays. I don't know. You guys gotta play it. It plays really off. Something feels off about it.
It feels like my memory of Mega Man 2 back in the day, but it just, like I said, the level design it's so uninspired to me. It's like go to screen and it's just a couple simple jumps or a ladder, shoot a couple enemies. I know it's probably an easier level, but still. How
does it look? Does it feel like a cell phone game?
I think it looks nice. I like the art style.
Jesus Christ.
He dropping a mega shit bombs over here.
It reminds me of the latest Shantae. It's got a really nice like cartoony look to it.
Shantae looks much. I'm playing Shantae now.
I have some of these 2D games.
My Mega Man video
I never played
one of my most disliked videos, and I mentioned Shantae in. I said Shantae looks fucking better than Mega Man 11.
What video?
The thing with Mega Man 11 that people need to read us that they don't want to say because everybody likes to shit on Mighty Number 9. But it looks like a slightly upgraded Mighty Number 9.
Everybody's sitting on Mighty Number 9 because Mega Man 10 and Mega Man 9 were better.
I sit on Mighty Number 9 because it's shit. I have no affinity.
If it wasn't shit, people wouldn't. I mean, people would be. I don't know if they'd still be talking about, but it just was so forgotten. That's how I know.
It's got to be like Mega Man. I was happy to see something different. And for me, it was just too slow. That was the biggest problem. It was so slow. And the level design was ass to me. It was just like boring.
That's how I feel playing Mega Man 11.
Also, I can't stand fucking games that have bosses that have one-hit kill moves. That shit drives me fucking nuts.
So the goal is to have a Mega Man X game where you can shoot diagonally like Samus. That's the goal. That's the goal. That's what we got from this.
In 2019, we'll get that game, baby.
The enemies move up and down, and it's like your jump. You can just barely tap it, then you hit a little. Like you got 3 levels of your height, and I just could not hit the damn things just because you just don't have enough.
That was a thing from classic Mega Man. That was a thing where you had to master. Like it was if you weren't able to jump at the right height, you weren't going to be able to jump and shoot them. Like the bullet would literally pass over almost through the top of their head because the collision box was actually below their face. Yeah. So
it was all about timing and just the right amount of pressure to make the correct jump height and whatever.
Yeah, I can see them wanting to stay true to some stuff, but I mean, Nintendo didn't stick with the original Metroid exact formula, and they evolved it and became like the standard now.
Well, not everybody's Nintendo. So.
I know.
Also, Nintendo doesn't do that. Also, Nintendo doesn't do that with all their franchises.
Oh, we got a P raid in the chat.
Oh, side note, real quick, I wanted to mention this since it came up. And
tell him he should have listened to me when I was in the chat, but that's okay.
I wonder if he saw my tweet.
I was going to say real quick, how do people feel about that Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition that got announced from Switch?
Oh, that was real?
Yeah, that was
mad jokes.
That was such a not a stealth announcement. That was such a no confident announcement. I just thought somebody put through that shit together.
No. That's real. That's legit.
It probably would have been in the direct. That's probably.
Hey, well, chill out.
It probably will be in the direct. You mean?
Oh,
so P Ridge here. I know they must be RPG fans because.
Why? Final Fantasy 15 isn't a good game. That's the problem.
Right. I don't care either way. I don't want
Final
that
Fantasy.
TBS one.
How do you pronounce Final Fantasy 15? I thought you pronounce it Xenoblade.
No,
Xenoblade Chronicles X. Is that how you pronounce Final Fantasy 15?
If you pronounce it that way, you're playing the wrong fucking game, right?
Well, I'm just saying. So you take Final Fantasy 15, you make the game world size 14 times bigger, and then you have a better gameplay mechanic, and then you have it, right? Is that how it works?
Granted, I only played the demo,
and it's all in one gig of RAM. 1 gig of RAM, no loads. Is that how it works?
I was just not impressed.
I think you're overestimating.
Going to the tech. You're always bringing up the tech. I just want to talk about.
Final Fantasy 15 is not a game to get
Here's
excited
the thing about
about.
Final Fantasy 15. It had a bunch of hoopla before it came out. Because
hoopla.
Like, oh my god, this look how good it looks. Or some people were mad about the characters and stuff. But there's all this hype about this game. It comes out. You see reviews and stuff, but then nobody talked about it. Like, we're talking weeks later. Not one person's talking about, hey, look what
you remember.
Look how far in the game. Look at this cool thing I discovered, or I beat the game. I didn't hear one person. I don't know one person.
You know one person though. Remember, Robert bought the game. He played. He complained about that fucking car.
Oh yeah, the car thing was hilarious.
Yeah, one mission you gotta push that bitch.
Remember how long we talked about Xenoblade Chronicles X, all the new things we were discovering and seeing? Like, nobody talked about Final Fantasy 15.
Because Final Fantasy 15 wasn't about exploration.
That's because we all know Final Fantasy has been trash since it left the PS1. I'm not even joking.
Oh, you savage! Chill out,
man. Final Fantasy 9 though. Final Fantasy 9, yes.
PS1. I love Final Fantasy 9. Final Fantasy 10 is one of the most overrated games of all time.
Yeah, Final Fantasy 10 is trash. No one talks about 10.
Don't you mean 7?
It's 7's up there.
I think people played 15 because they didn't want to play Lightning anymore. I think that's what it was.
That's like a terrible reason. That's like saying, I'm going to go get a D because
should I stop being savage? I'm sorry.
Anybody in the chat beat Final Fantasy 15? I've seen some people say they played it. Anybody actually finished the game? I don't know anybody who.
I hate how that bitch controls.
My friend did, and he said it was trash.
I just don't like how they've essentially turned it into Kingdom Hearts combat, and it's like that's not why I play.
That's my main problem. Like
I
played.
He said, "Damn."
I played 15 at my brother's and everything, and I kind of liked how it played, but it's just not Final Fantasy anymore. Final Fantasy had to be turn-based. That's why I liked it. That we got shit like Bravely Default and like Lost Odyssey and Lost Sphere and all that shit, and Octopath Traveler, like actual the way Final Fantasy should have evolved. That's what they're doing with everything else. Like, I like 15 and shit. I have some issues with this, like other issues like you guys have, like the summoning stuff is really stupid, but it's just not Final Fantasy anymore at this point, I feel.
These are nice visuals though.
Yeah, I'm seeing some people. One person got 15 hours into it. Couldn't remember the controls.
Well, the problem with it, the core problem was that like after the game came out, they started talking about Royal Edition.
Yeah, was the game even like a full game? Could you actually beat it?
They were working on the game 30 years. They had to make some money back.
When you look at the game,
look at the
game had like enough content in it. It just wasn't finished. That was the problem.
Somebody said,
Look at the
I waited 5 years for this. Sorry, Collector. Go ahead.
No, sorry. I was cutting everyone off as well. I was going to say, look at the character designs of Final Fantasy 15. Just look at those motherfuckers, right? And then go back to Final Fantasy 9, right? And look at the character designs in that, and that's the difference. That's how much Final Fantasy has changed. And if anyone says to me that the character designs in FF15 are better than FF9, they best get out of my way, man. You know what I'm saying?
You know what the core problem is that Final Fantasy 15 tried to adopt Western RPG traits, and it's like that's not why
So did Final Fantasy 7, but
and Xenoblade did too. Xenoblade Chronicles X did.
Yeah, but like
an MMO light.
Yeah,
but it didn't completely betray.
Yeah,
It was
core
based
of what it was.
the core of what it represented. I mean, Final Fantasy is the JRPG. Like it's up there with like Dragon Quest and shit. Like
no, it was the JRPG.
I second that.
That was Persona, bitch.
Man, eat a dick. I don't want to hear nothing about
Grandia, fucking.
Listen, I can appreciate Persona. 5 is.
It's all about that Shimakami.
Hey, I feel bad.
Tensei.
That's the main thing about Persona I feel bad about. I feel bad that Shin Megami Tensei, the main series, got slided for
it got pushed to the side like a bitch.
They're like, which one's selling? We're going there.
Let's talk about this Pocket Edition, though, because Collector was talking about character designs. I actually think the Pocket Edition characters look more appealing than just the base game. What the base game went for.
I don't mind. I don't mind the cheap style.
I think it works better with the spiky hair. So, like, it just looks to me. Final Fantasy 15, the characters were just.
Well, I mean, that's just anime design.
Well, I'm just gonna say fuck it. There's zero reason for it because Crystal Chronicles is.
Bro. If
we're gonna have Chibi, we'll play that.
And we could play online together. Yeah.
Yay, for the first time ever, because I don't know why.
Was it confirmed?
The GameCube is finally online.
I don't it was always online. There was just no fucking server to connect to.
You're going to pay Square. Is Square going to charge an additional service fee to play it?
Man. It wouldn't surprise me.
So
yeah, you got to pay $20 a year plus.
Is I guess that's coming to Switch. So
what?
The chibi version of Final Fantasy.
Oh yeah.
It's coming to everything, but
yeah, it's everything. Originally it was a phone game, right?
But they did say they were looking into porting it to Unreal Engine 4. So
I don't care. I don't fucking want to.
Not that I care, but
it's 15. I don't give a shit about 15.
Yeah, me neither, bro.
But at least it's coming to PS4, Xbox One, so it's not just hey, Switch owners, you get this.
But it is
I actually kind of would have preferred it be.
They're kind of hiding behind. Oh, look, we put in everything, not just not just you guys.
Is the Pocket Edition coming to Xbox One?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It won't sell.
Chronicles wasn't, I think.
It won't sell, but
it won't be a physical version.
Actually, the Chibi edition is out now for the other two consoles, whereas the Switch version is coming later.
2019, I thought I saw, or was that Crystal Chronicles?
I think that's Crystal Chronicles. I don't think that's.
So they couldn't even put it at the same time. That's some bullshit.
Because it's already out of. It's like right now, if you turn on your PlayStation 4, Xbox, you can play it. Whereas Switch owners,
maybe they're doing something for the Switch with the touchscreen. You know, they have to do some things.
Touch my ass. That's some bullshit.
I don't want to do that, sir.
I respectfully decline.
So Nintendo Direct, we would have been doing a review, but unfortunately there was a earthquake and fucking tsunami like back to back, or not tsunami. What is it? Typhoon.
Oh,
yeah,
they were like a week apart. So
there's been a bunch of rumors we're getting it like Thursday.
Japan got hit, so they delayed the Direct. We still don't know when. If it's just a pre-recorded thing, I mean, I understand that a bunch of people without power is you could definitely insensitive to worry about video games, but the fact that some stuff may or may not be leaking, and I think in their best interest, they should have just probably had it.
Japan deserves a fucking
or they can just delete it and cut another one. To be honest with you, it's pre-recorded.
Actually, that's what I'm more believing. I think that's probably what they did.
I think they
from a business standpoint, after a week later, it probably should have They probably should just put it out today or yesterday or something. Just hey, you don't need to announce it. Here, you're waiting 2 days. It's gonna.
And then they're gonna put it out Thursday because people noticed that Splatoon 2's update got delayed, and it's now set for the 13th.
Oh, yeah.
Is it a worldwide direct or is it just North America?
Yeah, it's worldwide.
Worldwide.
So that's probably the bigger function of it too, though, because you're doing this in 3 or 4 different languages or whatever, and you got one country that in their language, like everybody ain't got a TV to watch it. So yeah, you probably should. They probably should hold that one back, I would imagine, because people don't have power and that type of stuff.
Yeah, but
I don't think it has anything to do with. I really don't think it has anything to do with power. A lot of people keep saying that. It's just about not diverting attention from where it matters.
Right.
Yeah,
you don't want to. You know,
Because they're gonna watch it on their phones. They're not gonna watch it on no damn TV.
But you got to imagine, especially close to home too. Like that seems kind of real gross.
It's a respect thing.
Definitely a respect thing. I can kind of.
I could see that,
but I think some non-gaming things regarding that. But.
People move on pretty quickly. I know the people that still are suffering and don't have power and stuff are still affected, but
unlike
for Nintendo's sake, I think if any of this, I haven't even seen any leaks, so I don't even know.
Unlike here,
and that's what I was going to talk about. The GameCube and the Xbox launched right after 9/11.
Yeah, I remember that vividly.
They really thought their consoles weren't going to sell.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, unlike here after 9/11, where our president told us to go to the mall.
Yeah, hey, that's what I wasn't going to talk about. I was trying not to talk about.
So either way,
go shopping.
Either way, the point is we're going to do some direct predictions or some ideas, maybe what we think. Yeah. And if there was something, all I heard was people saying stuff was spoiled or leaked. I don't want to know what it is. I don't want you to say what it is. So. If just something.
The only thing I had heard was the Smash bundle. That's literally all I've heard.
Mm. Yeah, that's
nothing
major.
Any announcement that's happened in the last week? Oh, that's probably going to be at the direct. Shut up! can we stop doing that, please? It's so annoying. Every video I watch where there's an announcement made within the last week. Oh, that was probably going to be at the direct.
And it's possible for the Final Fantasy thing. Probably could have been something in the direct. Maybe
we'll find out. Even if it was, why did you have to keep talking about that?
It's awesome. That's not exciting anyway.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think? I mean, what do you think Nintendo had planned? And obviously, not obviously, but I assume we're still going to get the direct, and it's going to be the same when that actually hits.
I think some of the may have changed. Personally.
Really? I think it'll be the identical.
Not a lot, but I think some of it may have changed.
Yeah. Go download the Mega Man 11 video.
Because Mega Man,
something like that
demo came out.
Yeah. Something like that would change
right after this. Oh, wait a minute! Now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But any major game announcement, I think the majority of it.
I guess we could see Yoshi again. That's my guess.
So, what were you guys when you found out there was a direct? What was your your hype level high? Was it low? What were you expecting? Because
I was constipated.
We talked about, should the Smash Direct been the first Direct we got after E3 after so Smash focus, and now we had the Smash Direct with 2 epic reveals and stuff. So what's left for a Direct? So I wasn't foaming at the mouth, but I was interested to see if there's any Doom level surprises or anything like that. But I wasn't expecting this to be, because they did say some 3DS content as well. So I was my expectations right there were kind of lowered as soon as I realized they were going to squeeze in some 3DS stuff.
Why does that bring down expectations?
Well, that just tells me, because they haven't done 3DS in a Direct since right after the Switch came out. It's just been Switch exclusive stuff.
Doesn't Luigi's Mansion come out soon?
It's the holiday thing. They got to make squeeze every last ounce they can out of 3DS.
I'm trying to remember the Direct this time last year that announced Doom and stuff. I'm curious if there was 3DS stuff, how much 3DS stuff was in that Direct. But
I'd probably say maybe 5 or 10 minutes. It was I think it was confirmed. It was confirmed to be a 35-minute Direct. I think 35. I think 10 of those 35 minutes was probably the 3DS, if that.
So I wasn't oh my god, I can't wait for this. What are they going to show? So my expectations were, about a 5 or 6 probably out of 10 on the excitement level. Once the announcement was made, there was going to be a direct. So clocked it. Where were you at when you found out?
I don't know where I was really. I can't even bloody remember, to tell you the truth. I mean, the thing about directs now, I mean, we've had a lot, and we know this stuff coming. So it's hard in the back of my mind. You're always thinking about hoping, to see what's already been announced instead of hoping to see what might surprise us and stuff. So like Terrell said, it'd be nice to see how Yoshi has come along, since as that has seemingly had quite a bit of a delay on it.
Over a year since we've seen it.
So I'm really excited about Yoshi, because I thought Woody World, I will say, I actually preferred, controversial here, but I actually preferred Woody World over Yoshi's Island on the SNES. Yeah, I think it was just a more.
Dare you?
I think Woody World is easily the best Yoshi game.
I mean, he could have preferred Yoshi's Story over Yoshi's Island. He could have done that. But...
Yeah, that's
no. Yoshi's Story was fun, but it wasn't great.
It was pretty. It sounded great, but it was just...
but Woody World.
There was a song at the end.
It was charming. It was charming. It had the music. It had the levels. It was difficult at times, and I got to play a co-op as well, which is both fun and frustrating as hell. But this is not a slight against Yoshi's Island. It's still god tier. It's still up there. I'm just saying, Yoshi's Woody World, just personally for me, I just enjoyed it more. So
don't try to worm your way out of this. I take offense.
I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, that shit annoying. Like, why
did that touch fuzzy get dizzy though?
Look, that was there was a point to doing that. I get it. Like, they wanted you because I remember reading about the development of Yoshi's Island. And before the Baby Mario didn't cry, and people would just say "fuck you" and keep going. So that's what Miyamoto did to make sure people grab Baby Mario. That was smart. I get it. Like, that was so. But I agree. I think Woolly World is the best Yoshi game out there.
But we're not getting into debate.
Sorry, yes, I know.
My
fault.
Bitches, I will fight all of you.
So T,
nostalgia speaking.
When you saw the announcement of the direct, what were your first thoughts and your excitement?
And I was probably at a 5 or 6. Like, some people, it's gonna be some online stuff. I didn't even think that was gonna happen. So I thought we might get one surprise, and it not like the surprise was gonna be anything catastrophic or anything. Not catastrophic, that's the wrong word. Like, amazing or anything, but I thought it was going to be a nice surprise. But that was pretty much it. I wasn't expecting anything. I was expecting more talk about surprise ports and stuff like that, but nothing like that.
And games that are coming out for 3DS and probably some Super Mario Party and some stuff like that.
Stuff about that. Just stuff we already knew about. More info on
retro.
That.
I know you had other things taking your mind there, but when you saw the direct, were you excited? Were you expecting much?
When they announced it, I already felt a lot better and shit, so I could get a bit more in the atmosphere again. But I was at like a 6, I think, for a very specific reason. I feel this year directs have been like total hits or miss. It was always 50-50. Either it was really good or it was really bad. And these days from Nintendo, I almost expect like not a lot of surprises and for them to just show shit we already know. So I'm at a 6 purely for the fact that I want to see the next Smash reveal, because they said they were going to reveal all characters before the game launches. So I'm expecting at least a new character again. And that's seriously the only thing that really had me hyped about the Direct, because I mean, the people want like online. I don't give a shit about the online. I really don't care. People want I want Yoshi as well. I'm looking forward to it, but they haven't showed it since like 2 years by now. I don't know. And so it's I'm not expecting much from them these days anymore. I get hyped when I see the name Nintendo Direct. I'm like, oh, cool. I'm gonna watch some video games. But when it comes to the actual content, my expectations are getting lower, but by every Direct almost.
Yeah, I would say, because I wasn't. No way would I expect or dream that they'd show Metroid Prime 4 or Bayonetta 3. Like some people were kind of hoping or saying, hey, they could do that. I would expect that in a March direct next year or February direct. Like I think they're going to focus, maybe show off some new footage of games we've seen before, but again, you know, one with E3 has been July, so we've been a couple months, and it's almost too soon to see more Fire Emblem. I mean, it's like that.
What? How dare you?
What more could have progressed? You know, really.
Hey man, I don't give a fuck. I want to see as much as I can. All right. That is going to be a long 6 years of my life afterwards, because I'm not going to.
I just think time for the game to have progressed much to show like some major progress there. So like Yoshi would be one, because we haven't seen since E3 26 or 17. But
I would personally say, because I think Yoshi is probably going to be like an early 2019 game. Personally, and hey, look, that's my opinion.
It's Nintendo we talk about it.
Hey, T, do me a
it'd
favor.
be nice.
Shut the fuck up.
I don't want to interrupt. I don't want to interrupt.
Do me a favor, real quick.
The Xenoblade debate going on in the chat, but Shadow Fox, you know what your
wait a minute, there is
level was?
I'm extremely savage. First of all, Xenoblade Chronicles X for president.
How dare you? You sit your ass down.
Are you one of those Metroid Prime 2 haters?
No. No.
Oh man,
I'm not that guy.
Don't start it. Don't start it.
Listen.
Get the boot.
We're doing this war right now. No, I think for the direct, I really think that they're going to at least touch on Prime 4. At least say, hey, look, this is what some of the character designs look like or something, because you got to show something at some point.
I don't think it's completely possible.
And possibly, just maybe, the thing that they should be talking about, they might talk about it. And that might be Nintendo Switch Online. We might actually see it.
They kind of have to now.
Nobody want to bring the whole.
They do that.
I don't think
they said that the online was supposed to kick off in the second half of September. The second half of September is like Friday.
A week.
Yeah, pretty much. So I
think it's time.
Well, if you look like over the next couple of days, they're literally overhauling Nintendo Network on every platform. So they're doing it. They're making changes. So the question is, when are they going to choose to talk about it? So
Didn't we wait like 2 months?
Let me get what would you say you're on a scale of 1 to 10 when you found out there was a direct? What was your? Can you put a number to like your expectations or excitement?
When I found out about it, I kind of expected it, but not expected, because Nintendo does it. I can't really. I'm so used to Nintendo now at this point. When it comes to announcements of a direct, it's like y'all been doing this since Wii. Like y'all put up some shit on the damn what was the name of that channel? It was the Wii. It was not Nintendo, man. It was something else they had before that. It was on the Wii channel only.
Wii Player.
It was basically Nintendo Directs before Nintendo Directs.
Yeah, Nintendo Directs basically on the Wii.
Yeah, and they do that. They would drop one whenever the hell they wanted to, and they would just start talking about games and whatever. And they just do that. That's what they do. I wouldn't be surprised at some point they make one, like they put it inside of a Nintendo game app, like they put it in freaking Super Mario Run or something. Like, you can only watch this video on Super Mario. Nintendo will do that kind of shit because that's what they do.
Or the Switch, those channels and stuff. What do they call them?
The news channels.
Yeah, the news channels. Like they might lock it to that. Who knows? At some point, they just do what they want to do. And I'm always expecting at any moment in time for them to just say, you know what? We've got about 20 games in queue. Let's show you them. And they'll do it.
Yeah.
They'll fucking do it. Whether it's for the 3DS or not. They're like, you know what? Y'all think we're not making 3DS games. Here's 40. And they'll do it.
The 3DS is going to hit that original Game Boy lifespan. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Oh, the 3DS is immortal.
Terrell, did you give your thoughts?
Oh, yeah. Let me talk about it. I was on the toilet when I heard the news.
Oh, Jesus.
Thank you.
Switch life.
He knew? Guess what I was playing?
Wii U life, son.
Yeah, that's Wii U life. Jesus, boy, Wii U life. Ooh.
Hey, man, listen. When I heard it, I had already heard rumors and rumblings that we were going to get a direct soon, so I wasn't like overly excited about it. I don't really get excited at the announcement of the direct unless I have like 16 things I'm looking forward to. And the only major thing I'm looking forward to that I hadn't heard that I wanted more information on was probably Fire Emblem. Everything else, it's cool to get information, but it's also September, so I wasn't expecting kind of like what Juice was saying. I wasn't expecting Bayonetta 3. I wasn't expecting Metroid Prime 4. I am kind of expecting Yoshi, but that could easily be a December Direct thing too. So, honestly, I think the biggest concern was just surprise me. I'm more excited about the surprises than what I'm expecting, because the stuff I end up loving about Directs are the things I'm not expecting. So I was probably at 6, probably.
Yeah, everybody's at 6.
Say, man, because we're Satan. Well, my bad.
So now we're gonna do not a dream announcement, but
not sleeping.
Something that's possible. It has some percentage of plausibility, but still you wouldn't bet money on it, like a Bayonetta 3 footage type of thing.
It's weirdly specific.
Yeah, nothing
that's plausible, not something that's
plausible. Nothing like, oh, I want to see
Mother 3,
Wave Race, and Mother 3. Something that could possibly be in this Direct, which probably will air Thursday. That you would really like to see and really hope to see game-wise. So, Clocked, you want to go first? Is there one you can think of?
Well, it's been a while, but we haven't seen Shin Megami Tensei 5, is it?
Oh, yeah.
That's a possibility.
It's a good one.
I'm not not saying that it could show up, but it's certainly a possibility, because we're getting into those realms now of all these games that we're waiting for that got long announced, long ago.
Yeah, that's actually a good one.
But yeah, I mean, and then on the flip side, if it was going to be another random announcement and another port, then Tokyo Mirage Sessions could happen.
How dare you go take my... Fuck me, man.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
I would have been
You're probably gonna put down Xenoblade to play that anyway. So
because I've beaten it already. That's why.
Yeah.
I'm already playing the game.
My Goaty 2016, bitch.
That's a good game.
T, can you think of a game? I mean, even if somebody already said it, something that you think is possible that you'd really like to see and hope they'd show.
I mean, it's possible.
Just be putting people on the
that might be too far. I was gonna say like a 3D Donkey Kong game, but I can't think of anything. I really can't think of anything.
There's not a lot.
Yeah. And I was thinking more along the lines of stuff they kind of already announced, but we haven't seen yet. We haven't seen really any footage for. But also, a completely surprise game could be possible, but I think I don't think this is the Direct for.
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't think
working on Animal Crossing.
You say that, but shit will you be caught off guard.
You say January Direct, then I'll get.
Skyward Sword.
I say either December or January will get you.
Yeah,
Skyward Sword HD. Something out of the blue.
Not. Well, for me, that's
not crazy. But.
Can I start off with the Zapper power? That's all I want to know. Can I start off with that shit instead of having to beat the game and do all this other crazy stuff?
Yeah,
I don't know what you're talking about.
Throwing the sword.
Still don't know what you're talking about.
You get full life and you can throw the sword.
Yeah, you throw the beans.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah.
I like how
you got to start a second playthrough. When do you get that ability?
Right at either right at the end of the game or on your second playthrough. I forget which one. But then your life fills all the way up and you hold your sword up, it lights, and then you.
Yeah, that's how you beat the end.
Yeah,
the boss.
It's like it's later. I think you have to do some charging. I can't remember.
Yeah. Wait, what are we talking about here?
Skyward Sword.
I think you just talking about where you hold the sword now.
Oh, God, man.
Oh my God.
That was just a part of the game.
Times.
That wasn't anything.
I like video games.
Maybe that did come later. I don't know.
No, it comes later. You have to.
Yeah, it comes later.
You have to charge it.
I don't think it's too late.
Welcome to the Lord of Skyward Sword.
But anyway, Retro Death, is there a game you think possibly could show up in the Direct?
Well, because earlier you said like dream game you'd like to see, and now it's something I think it's possible. So that's two different things.
No, I mean something you'd really like to see, but it's not just something, not a dream game like I always say, waiver. Something that's pretty a little more likely.
Well, there's something that I've been advocating for a long time that everybody knows is gonna come. They just haven't said anything about it yet. That I've been waiting for, and Robert would say the exact same thing. I'm still waiting on my fucking Animal Crossing, and I know it's gonna come. And the thing with Animal Crossing is every year they wait is like, okay, then you might as well wait to the next system, because Animal Crossing is basically like a fucking network, and it needs to be launched as early as possible in the system's life cycle. Because if you do that in the last year, then it's just instantly gonna die out. So I'm expecting to see that fast, and I want to see that fast because I don't know. It's like there's no reason that that's taking so long, because they're working on it, because they're gonna link it to the mobile shit. But even the mobile shit is just starting to die out really fast. So they gotta stop wasting time with that bullshit.
They're just gonna port Amiibo Festival.
How dare you?
The thing is,
Just $10 at GameStop, brand new, by the way, $10.
fucking New Leaf is still
Let
selling.
that sink in.
It's like you think they would have. There's an audience there. Switches are 20 million strong.
Yeah, you got to do it a little early in the lifespan of the console.
There's still time for Animal Crossing. Like I said, don't forget the Switch is only a year and a half years old. If Animal Crossing comes out mid next year or something, then it's fine, because I think
I think
New Leaf. I think New Leaf came out like 2 years after the 3DS was on the market.
But when are they going to announce it if it comes out midway through next year?
New Leaf was 2013. So yeah.
It's Nintendo.
Shadow Fox, you got a game that is plausible that you'd like to see in the direct, whether it's been announced or not.
I mean, somebody just mentioned in the chat, they said about 10 Kaitos. I'm like, fucking yeah.
That's kind of a dream, though.
Yeah, it's kind of a dream. Monolith they've already sailed that course. We're all Xenoblade or helping with Zelda. That's kind of where they are right now. So, I don't know.
Plausible?
I don't think it's plausible. I do
any
want
game that is plausible that you want to see.
I got mine. Pikmin
Golden
4.
Sun.
Pikmin 4. That's mine.
Yeah, Pikmin 4 and Golden Sun.
Anything that's plausible, that's got a good chance of being in this direct. Not Wave Race, not Golden Sun, not Mother 4, like an actual plausible game.
Yeah, Pikmin is a good one.
Pikmin 4 is mine. That's
did the last Golden Sun on DS not do good?
Anyway,
no, I'm serious for real. Because
wow.
He's like, no.
Rogue Squadron.
I'm looking for these obscure games that haven't been on a Nintendo system in 15 years.
Mock Rider.
So
we
know F-Zero's out, right? We're pretty certain about that.
Shutting that door. That door is dead.
Okay, Terrell, you got one.
I got three. I got three just in case. I think Jill's gonna shoot down one.
Give one to Terrell.
I got one Kid Icarus port. That's my first one. Second one, Fatal Frame collection. And
what is
third,
guys in your ports and collections and shit?
Yeah. You know why? Because we still have
That's not very plausible though. I gotta put
Kid Icarus
that's like fucking
his Fatal Frame collection. I mean,
did we talk about Call of Duty already? Did nobody mention that?
I don't think that's realistic.
That shit ain't coming.
Yeah, that's not realistic.
We'll see.
Okay, put it this way: which is more realistic, Call of Duty or F-Zero?
At this point, Call of Duty is more realistic than Madden.
A stealth announcement for Call of Duty at this point.
What the fuck is Madden?
I don't know. Some fat guy that never rides an airplane. I don't.
Like Doom and Skyrim made sense for a stealth announcement because they're already out for a while on other consoles. But this is a game that's coming out like this fall.
Oh, so what about
that? Would be more of an announcement than the Wii ever got. And the Wii.
What about a GTA port then?
Man.
That would. I mean, that goes without saying. But they would have to make an event.
I'm just saying, he's just over here talking about plausible. I'm like, I think that's
Saints Row.
That would be some GTA type shit.
I feel like at this point, like Terrell has this beaten wife syndrome where everything he wants is like a port or something, That's
the
pretty sad.
That's Stockholm.
Well, listen, because at this point, I don't have a lot of new stuff to look forward to that that isn't already known. Like
Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning is coming to the Switch.
all right, shut up. You
That game is coming. You want to put some money on it?
No, you crossed the line. All right.
Kurt Schilling don't like no goddamn Switch.
Kurt Schilling ain't got nothing to do with that game no more. He done robbed everybody already.
Guys, you know what
he done rolled off with Dietrich as they created the Phantom.
I should have said Psychonauts 2. That's what I should have said.
Psychonauts. I forgot that was a thing. I
was at the store or somewhere and I seen there was like a Scribblenauts like ultimate.
Oh yeah, Scribblenauts. What is it called?
Coming to like
it's like a pack. It's like
that series is done and over. Like
it's already out. I mean, it's not coming out. Yeah,
like that series needs to
and I didn't even buy it, and I'm a huge Scribblenauts dude, so that tells you a lot.
It's a betrayal to the series.
Body Harvest trash.
So my game's gonna be Final Fantasy VII remake. And
man,
what? Oh, but mine's really.
You talking about us?
It ain't even coming out for the PS4. Like it's not.
Mine was just show some Bayonetta 3 progress update. Show I don't.
Nah, you're asking too much.
I mean, I think that's likely, and that's something I'd really like to see. I mean,
I got it. Travis strikes again.
Oh fuck you! Oh fuck you! That game just got. How dare you?
We need some more footage.
So here's an interesting
what I'm seeing ain't good.
Do you guys think we'll see Bayonetta 3 first or Metroid Prime 4 first?
Bayonetta 3.
Okay, so can we please stop begging for Metroid Prime 4 in 2018 then?
No, we're not. Until the game is out.
I wasn't saying. I was just saying like some footage or some artwork from it or something.
Depends on what you mean by what was. We've already seen an announcement.
Gameplay. I'm talking gameplay.
You're talking about actual in-game gameplay. Then
we saw a really nice PowerPoint last year.
Then it's a little less because I think the first thing we're seeing Bayonetta 3 is like for Bayonetta 2. Like here's some character designs, here's some concept art. I kind of think that's what we're gonna get first.
That's underwhelming as fuck.
Yeah, they did it. They announced Bayonetta 2, and the next time we saw it, they did the concept art.
Wii U era. Those dark days.
But gameplay wise, I think it's whatever order the games are at the direct at E3 2019. That's which one we'll see first.
You want to know something?
I don't want no goddamn concept art. Give me a fucking trailer.
I believe this is
you're not gonna get it.
I believe you're gonna get some Metroid Prime 4 at the Game Awards. I really feel like that's where I think that would be a great place to show.
Be like a
they're gonna show Metroid Prime to the Dorito King. That's what they're
show both of them.
I think Bayonetta 3 gameplay will be at the Game Awards. Calling it.
They're gonna make me watch that trash
because they announced it.
Well, they announced it at the Game Awards. Yeah,
a year later they're gonna have footage. That's my prediction for that.
That makes sense too.
World exclusive, world premiere of
console exclusive
artwork.
both of those games gonna need some
exclusive.
both of those games have like this big fan base, but they don't sell. So hopefully. that would be a good thing to show it there because both of those games need help selling.
That's true, man. It's sad but true.
Yeah, it's pretty sad.
Sad when 1-2 Switch is gonna outsell Metroid Prime 4.
I'm more sad than outselling ARMS.
Don't say that.
All right, here outselling ARMS.
Because by then 1-2 Switch will be at 3 million.
Bruh, you don't shut your hands up.
And it never got a price drop. Still $50.
Will you stop? Please.
It's painful, man.
But you don't know how much. You know how drastic that is, though. That $10 difference is literally making parents buy it. Like they're like, oh well, it's $50. It's not $60.
Yeah, I saw
it is crazy.
I've seen parents in fucking schools. I mean, not schools. Walmarts go, oh yeah, I want to Switch for Christmas. What?
Yep.
Why?
Because it's 50 and not
60. That ain't making people buy a fishing resort. Get that shit.
Hey man, that's a different type of purchase. All right.
So I
think that's about it. Let's do some final thoughts. Get the hell out of here. So, who do we want to start with? Who wants to go first? Let's go to Retro Death first, since you haven't been on in a while. So, let's get your final thoughts.
Yeah, it's been great being back on. Like I seriously missed just fucking around over here. Like it's always like fun, like having to defend the games I like against everybody, and then having to destroy all the games you guys like. Seriously, I enjoy that stuff. Like
You're
games
just a
I've been
contrarian. That's all there is to it.
like games I've been playing lately. You guys are gonna love this one. I've been playing like Ratchet and Clank because it came with he gave it to me with the PS4, and I actually feel Ratchet and Clank on the PS4 is a better platformer than Mario Odyssey. So
Shut the fuck up, dude.
Oh my fucking
Shut
god! Get
the
out of
fuck
here.
He just likes to say shit.
That was the most
You
boring,
kick him off.
uninspired game I've played on my PS4.
Get
God,
the fuck out of here.
get the fuck out of here.
Oh my god!
Just
Crazy
don't
Dutch
say
bastard.
those things
He
again.
just trying to find the most controversial
What-
game
are-
to talk about.
Are we talking about Resistance? What are we talking about?
Talking about the most stripped down, visuals over, gameplay, boring ass, easy ass game.
at least I'm
Terrible
not
dialogue.
walking around in a giant field.
Wow.
Anyway, go ahead.
Oh, man.
Oh, that was it. That was done.
Good. Get him out of here.
Last fight.
Take that PS4 back. Playing trash instead of, he probably hasn't even beat Odyssey yet.
Uh-oh.
Anyway,
We'll talk shit about you when you're on next week too. So
Shadow Fox, go ahead.
Oh god. So yeah, this is an interesting, funny discussion. I will say that I will have a video that should be uploading pretty soon, and it will be a little interesting. So
shameless plug.
yeah, no, seriously, it'll be a little bit interesting. It'll talk about some of the stuff we talked about today, and I really think that they're gonna do some Nintendo shit in the next couple days. It could be next week. They could hold it back a month, knowing them. But the Nintendo Direct is going to be interesting because it's more than likely going to be the last one they have this year, unless they do the short YouTube videos that explain each game. Those kind of count as directs too.
There'll be another Smash one, I'm sure.
Yeah, and they got to do one for Smash, so it'll be a Smash oriented one. But yeah, this will be the last one. I think that they're going to catalog. They're going to go through their catalog and try to say, "Hey, buy this stuff coming up soon." So it'll be interesting to see what they do. And Nintendo Switch Online exists apparently, so maybe they'll talk about that at some point. But
No, it doesn't exist.
I don't know. I'm just being slightly optimistic as it's nearing, but I'm vaguely expecting almost a soft launch like we talked about last week. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it.
By the next podcast, it could be out. We don't have any fucking clue.
That's fucking insane.
That'll be more than a stuff launch. That'll be a ninja launch. Just like send it out to die.
I kind of was gonna predict that was going to be the end of the direct. Hey, by the way, Nintendo Switch Online, get it now. Because SNK Heroines has it on the box. Says
get it while it's not.
Can we not talk about that, please?
Get it while it doesn't exist.
Anyway, I don't know if you had any outros or anything.
Nah, my only outros is the same thing. Do you play games, have fun, and to impress other people? Microsoft will niffle off. Who do you want to do today? Yeah. Yeah, it's right. It's an interesting day today too. So people need to be reverent, I would say.
Oh yeah, completely forgot about I remembered it earlier, but we didn't bring up the 9/11.
We talked about it on the Talk Trash.
We did it on its. We talked about 9/11 on its. Like what was it, 15-year anniversary? And we usually don't do podcasts. It doesn't always hit on a Monday, so and today is a little more of an anniversary because it happened on a Tuesday.
Yes.
When initially. So I do want to get to the memorial, next year or two for sure and see that because I think the emotions would be pretty incredible.
Yes.
So sucks, 17 years. Just freaking, I can't believe it's been that long for one. It's just like I was playing GameCube. Me and my buddy had a game date planned to play some I think it was Unreal Tournament that was on the Dreamcast. What was our game?
Yeah, because GameCube didn't come out until a month or two after that.
That's true. It was a Dreamcast. And I was trying to get him to buy a GameCube. I was trying to talk him into getting one. But anyway, Terrell sombered it up before your final thoughts, but why don't you go ahead?
Fuck, I don't know. I think you killed me with that damn mood. Jesus Christ. Good podcast. Games were played. Games will be played. For those who give a shit. And this weekend is going to be 2 different games. And one of them obviously is Xenoblade 2 DLC. That would be greatness. The other one I actually fucking forgot about until I looked on the Switch a minute ago.
Oh, yeah. Good news. Torna, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, Torna, and then Siren Kagura's game comes out.
Yeah.
I'm very tempted because it's less than $10. I'm very fucking tempted.
Just for the HD Rumble. And
I'm just curious at this point. I'm not gonna lie about it. I'm just fucking curious at this point. I'm like, I don't fucking need it. But so we'll see. We'll see what happens. Also, Juice can't be trusted with people's secrets. That just needs to be stated. And life's a gameplay to win.
God damn, that's a big ass bus. That bus was big as fuck.
What? Oh my god!
I don't know what you're talking about. So
that's a big
tell me off there. Anyway, Meza T, final thoughts?
Yeah, just to keep the somber mood going. Another thing I remember about obviously this time September 11th was you guys Spider-Man just came out the original movie had just came out. It was coming the next year. It was coming out the next year. I just remember them talking about how they removed the towers from the movie, and that was just the weirdest, strangest thing. Because I think there was a shot where Spider-Man was hanging between the 2 towers, and they had
I mean, it would have been a nice tribute, I think.
I think they should have left it, but it was.
They took it out of everything.
It was a very
game. That's in relation to.
Yeah.
Like in relation to that, like that's also when the second Lord of the Rings movie came out, and they were like fighting to change the name.
The 2 towers thing.
Yeah.
Like it was a very sensitive time. Like I remember they even pushed back Arnold Schwarzenegger's last shitty movie because there was some terrorism in it. It had nothing really to do with that, just that it had terrorists in it. They pushed that movie back. I think it was called Collateral Damage or something. That movie was awful.
You want to completely no one would ever know this trivia, but the band Bush, they released their 4th album, and it was kind of supposed to be a resurgent for them.
Mm-hmm.
And their first single was called it was called something to do with death or something. And it's a great song. And then they changed the title to The People That We Love, and it just did not fit the song, even though they say it in the song, but they took out, which was it was a really cool title, and I have to look it up. And they had I don't know if they delayed it, but it definitely all the CD art, everything was changed to the new name just because of 9/11. It was it's like damn,
a lot of stuff changed. I know a lot of you guys, some of you guys,
younger guys,
we were here, me, Juice, Clocked It. We were all adults when this happened, so I know it's a lot different for a lot of people.
Yeah, I was in
there was like a Ninja Turtles game. There was a Tom Clancy game. It was a bunch of games like they literally erased the Twin Towers out of
just erased them out. So very strange time. It's I can go on and on, but anyway, always good time with you guys, shooting the breeze, and I haven't been wanting to make videos for some reason. I'm just kind of like, my family's gone. I feel a little down because my kids aren't around, and
rapping again.
I guess the wife too.
Freedom.
This whole
Married man in the
Nintendo
house.
Online thing. Nintendo Online thing has kind of demotivated me to make videos too. So.
Yeah, and I thought about making that the main topic, but I was like, nah, we harped on it last week.
Yeah, we harped on it already, and it's just like, well, so what am I gonna do? Like, but because we haven't had any new information, obviously the direct was pushed back, but sometime this week probably. So we'll have something to talk about. Yay! But yeah, good podcast, and play Nintendo Fools.
All right, Clocked It.
Mario fucking missing is better than Ratchet and Clank.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Hey, you learn shit in Mario is missing, okay?
I was educated.
1, 2, 3, A, B, C. USA. But just to quickly touch upon the 9/11 thing, because I think we're going a bit over here, aren't we? But everyone remembers where they were. I was getting my haircut. I wasn't playing any games. I was getting my haircut. Hear it on the radio. You hear the first plane, and I remember saying, man, it must have been like diverted by some sort of antenna or something like that. Like just thinking what would make it go off course like that. And then obviously you hear the second, and then you're just like, okay, something's up. But it wasn't something like this. It wasn't just that affected America at the time. I think it shook up our way of life. Where we've been sitting in so much comfort for so long, ignoring the horrors of the rest of the world, and they finally hit home in our modern times. So that was a big shakeup. So
anybody that flew an airplane, everything changed the way they did the security.
We had our London buses and our subways and all this stuff. So it's time goes on. You adapt. As we spoke about before. But yeah, no. To finish off for me. Good podcast. I enjoyed it. I kind of like just the casual chat, just talking about anything that came to our minds. I'm kind of sick to death as well, talking about Nintendo offline. It's just like you said, I find it slightly depressing at the moment. The fact that you could be riding this such a high, this Nintendo high. You got such a successful console. You're loving all the games, and then you got this big ass. It's not even a thorn. It's like a javelin in your ass. Someone has thrown a javelin in your Switch ass, and it's just sticking there, and you're like, "Fuck, get it out of my ass, please now!" And then someone's putting on it. But they just, just like, no, it needs to stay there for a bit. We'll let you know when we can operate. And you're just waiting for the fucking operation while it's traveling, sticking out of your ass. You can't quite sit down right. But but anyway, like I said, fun podcast. I love talking to you guys, and full big ass crew today. Just missing Rob. But good fun. So I'm out. Peace.
All right, and I wanted to say, Ruby, I'm glad she was supposed to be on one of the planes. Apparently, she said in the chat.
Oh my gosh!
So,
that's crazy.
How old would you have been back then? Was it a decision you made, or did something happen that you couldn't get on the plane? I guess if you wanna share, you don't have to. But my final thoughts, I gotta say, it's nice that the NFL is back on. It sucks that my team looks like absolute dog shit. But it's been a while. Man. It's been a while since I was playing my Switch portably, and so
I didn't know you did that.
Put in a couple hours into Hollow Knight while my team wasn't playing. It was like Minnesota and the 49ers were playing, and it was just great to be able to just do two things. I wasn't that interested in the game, but I also wanted to I wanted to have football on, and I wanted to make some progress. I'm going to try to have Hollow Knight beat by the weekend before I start Shadow of the Tomb Raider. So that's kind of my goal. And got pretty far. So, but other thing, well, again, I said this in a tweet. Some people acting like that's some new revelation to be playing a game while on a 6-inch screen in your hand while watching a football game. And I had to point out I've been doing that shit since 2012. I'm a Wii U.
Oh yes, and talking shit on the app.
And I don't care what you say. You watch TV in the same room your Wii U was hooked up to, because if you have a nice big HD TV that you complained that your Wii U was hooked up to and you wanted to play games on it, you're watching football on that same big ass HD TV. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you say.
Facts.
You lying ass son of a bitch.
God damn.
So Wii U did it 2012, 6 years later. Now it's cool. That's the kind of shit that I don't tolerate, and I'm going to call somebody out on that. But the other thing, Nintendo Switch Online, I gave Nintendo, once they announced the delay, I said, well, I'm going to wait and see, because there's all kinds of things can change. I said it could be built in. They could activate the USB. Fortnite proved that it can be built in. You can use the headset jack. Nintendo didn't utilize it. But in my mind, or my personality, I don't, without having facts, and back then, a year ago plus, I'm not going to waste my energy trying to get mad, trying to trying to assume it's going to be the worst and make videos doom and gloom when there's no real evidence other than just kind of a feeling you have Nintendo's going to mess it up, you know, like that's, you could be right, you could be wrong. So I just never waste my time, you know, with little information getting all riled up, you know, a year before we find out. But once that the update to the website hit, what, in June?
Yeah.
And the picture was becoming clear that they weren't changing anything other than adding cloud saves and changing the NES game dispersal. That's when, to me, that's when the wait and see ended. Ever since then, I've been trash talking it. I've been down on it. But I don't think any of that matters to Nintendo of Japan. Nothing anybody ever said in a tweet or in a YouTube video ever, in my opinion, and there's no way to prove it, is ever going to get through to Nintendo of Japan. Even if Reggie feels strongly that that's not how they should do it, I don't think that's going to affect Nintendo of Japan's decision on what they're going to do.
There'll be a new Reggie.
There'll be a new damn Reggie.
So, and you know, I don't know how many people make it all the way to the end of this podcast, and maybe I'll probably do a juice opinions on this. The only way you're going to get Nintendo's attention is if, out of the 20 million Switch owners, if hardly anybody gives them that $20 for this shitty ass service that it looks like it's going to be, where cloud saves don't even work for games, when on Steam, every online, like Rocket League, has all this trading of items, all this progress, and that has cloud saves. So I don't want to hear any excuses about it. Anybody who's complained, whether you were complaining a year ago or you're going to wait and see, anybody who pays that $20 now, you're telling Nintendo you're okay with what they do, in my opinion. So I'm gonna do a juice opinions on that. And
how much you pay for Steam though? Steam's expensive though.
Nothing.
Oh, wait a minute.
Steam is free, but it doesn't work with every game though.
No, that's true.
And but I don't love Steam's friends list and all that, but it's free. Not. So anyway, you know, that's the only way you're going to get through to Nintendo. If people can just stop playing Splatoon for like a month and just say, you know, I'm not buying this, and nobody bought it for a month, I think that would get their attention. But
like, holy shit.
Well, you know, maybe we'll talk about that next week. But anyway, that's going to be it. Thanks for everybody for tuning in. And yeah, there won't be any more Monday night or delays or canceling the podcast because of football, because I'm not going to do that for a shitty ass team anymore. So they're going to be on Monday. They're going to be on Monday.
Juice, you need to rise up.
So anyway, we'll talk to you guys next week.